Please! Not me! Don't shoot me, please! Ah! Ah! For legal purposes, that was a joke. I am not being held at gunpoint. Trust me, bro. Well, well, well. You're probably watching this mod right now. Adam? Yes. Shirley? Sarah? I know you're watching. Hopefully those names were correct. Otherwise, you know, this wouldn't work. We are going to... Well, I say we. I am going to just, chill a little and, watch some YouTube videos that I've been meaning to catch up on. Indeed. Alright, might as well. I think everything is ready. So, yeah. Might as well jump right to it. If I can get everything set up. We are going to start off with... Oh my god, we are... Internet historian. Ever given, ever taken away. That's right, I've been meaning to watch this video for a while. Let me just, Let me just make sure everything is ready. Strange. Where's my model? Strange. Uh-oh. I thought I was ready for this. It appears I am not. It was working before. Why is it not now? God damn it. So I'm putting the music back on. One can tell that I do not stream. I have no idea. Okay, actually I do have an idea. I am pretty sure that it just needs time. Now why, I do not know. But I'm pretty sure that it just needs time. Hopefully. Any time now. Any minute now. Any second now. Just trust me, bro. It's gonna happen any second now. Any second. Any second now. Any second now. Any second now. Any second. I'm sure it's gonna happen any second now. Any second. I don't know what's I don't know what's going on. I do not know why it's not showing up. What the? God damn it. Wait, that happened. Oh. Hang on. Hang on a second. I figured it out. I fucking figured it out. One moment. One moment. There we go. It is done. I'm a fucking genius. Alright. Anyway, let's finally get into it, shall we? Hang on. Alright. Internet historian. Also, hang on. Let me move myself a little. Maybe like this. Maybe a little bigger. Yeah, that's good. Looks good. Alright.
This video was made possible by Saley.
Oh my god, it
very
is.
patient people over at Patreon.
Whatever the fuck Saley is.
Okay, music fades in. My friend, let me weave you a tale.
Sure, bro.
Of a windswept night beyond the old Egyptian sands, where the water plays coy with the shore, and the coy are sure to play in the water. Where the desert wolves make
Right.
love.
As they do.
To the moon.
As you do.
Exterior day. This is the Suez Canal. Undeniably, Egypt's most famous body of water. Nothing bad ever happens here.
Until.
Oh, except for that one time.
Right. Of course.
Oh.
There's always that one time.
There's a ship, and it's called the Ever Given. And it's going up the Suez Canal really, really fast, probably. And you think that, well, the Port Authority would call up, and they'd be like,
Captain, you are going way too fast.
but the captain, he's wicked sit cool. So he's like,
Oh, hey, look.
They're just jealous of my...
Those are my glasses. Yeah, I remember actually giving this captain my glasses that one time. That one time. At that one time.
passion for going fast through critical trade infrastructure.
Increase speed. If you will not slow down, prepare to meet the full might of the Egyptian military.
Two of Egypt's fastest fighter jets scramble on the runway. But the captain kept adding power.
Faster! The people of Europe need these Chinese knockoffs of European goods.
And they got all sorts of technology to go like top speed.
Don't go faster, I beseech you.
But everyone on the crew was loving it. Yeah, go faster. But then,
Look out! Someone left a ramp in the middle of the canal.
I ain't afraid of nothing.
it was at this point that the captain
yes.
chose to do a wicked sick jump. Landing.
As you do.
But they overshot it. They were gonna collide with a gently sloping sandy bank. They threw on the handbrake,
Drop anchor! Brace for impact!
but it was too late. Collision. Literally everybody died. Ever given, ever taken away.
Shouldn't it be taketh away?
Yeah, that'll do. Alright, see you in a year.
Bruh.
What do you mean it's not long enough? Wikipedia, ChatGPT. Add the music, they love that. A reaction GIF? That's a good one. No, this video's too good. Dial it back a little. Okay, let me start again. I'll do the phony voice too. Better! Okay, so here's what really happened.
True events, secondary sources, something, all characterization should be considered fictional. Yep, sounds about right. Act 1. Everything is
The
great!
story begins in Malaysia. Of course, you already know, but that's this one over
Obviously.
here. And at a
Obviously.
port named Tanjung Pelepus is the container ship known as the Ever Given. The last of the cargo is loaded onto the ship, and the captain of the ship, Krishnan Kanthaval, is there with his crew of 20. Hello! At this point,
Hi.
Kanthaval probably said something like, "All right, the boat's tummy is all full of cargo. We're almost ready to get going." So Evergreen, the operating company of the ship, would have called ahead and booked passage for the ship. Yes, one adult ship ticket, please. Large. How many containers? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4,
lot.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now this guy at the operating company is on the line to the Suez Canal Authority, and they are in charge of all of the operations of the Suez Canal. All right, thank you for choosing Suez Waterways. You are scheduled for March 23rd. You are 922nd in queue. All right, we've got a Supermax container coming through on March 23rd. Pulling up the stats now. The Ever Given, one of the largest container ships in the world. Over 400 meters long, 60 meters wide. Only 10% smaller than the world's largest aircraft carrier. Able to
Damn.
carry over 20,000 of these shipping containers. Here's a guy in a sandwich.
On one ship, 20,000? These shipping containers are not small. What the fuck? Seriously? Like I think I recently saw like a Reddit post or something. Maybe it was on Twitter. I don't know. But like I recently saw some sort of video where like a container ship, well, not really a container ship, but like a one of those ships, you know, transport ships, that was transporting like cars, and they were like on top of the ship, and then the like seawater obviously got on the cars, and obviously cars got caught on fire, and all of them just fucking burned down. I've seen way too many videos of cargo ships, you know, let's just say not being able to take the high seas and then burning down or something. 20,000?
for scale. All right, navigator, helmsman, Gene. Let's get going. We wouldn't want to hold up the other ships. With a teary goodbye, the Ever Given sets sail from Malaysia and makes course for the Netherlands. Let's go to the map. Malaysia, and you already know, but the Netherlands is over here. The route's so simple. You just go
Obviously.
from here over to... Oh. We're blocked by Africa, sir. Should we just head back? Don't worry, I know a shortcut. Head into that inlet. It's called the Red Sea.
Ah, what could possibly
it's-
go wrong?
Blue.
Oh my god, it is.
In a bit over a week, the Ever Given cruises all the way to the Red Sea. And on the way, someone on the crew
Don't actually know, but why is it called the Red Sea? No idea.
points out
Could look it up, but I can't be asked.
booty and says it aloud.
Booty what? Never
Your
mind.
booty, because it's fun to say. It's a great time to be a cargo ship captain, I can tell you that much. Captain, we've got another problem on the sat-nav.
Famous last words.
There's more land in the way. How are we supposed to get through an obstacle like this? Should I just head back? Now, if this was 1868, Canterville would be in big trouble. But luckily, in 1869, someone happened to dig a big channel right from one side of this isthmus to the other, and filled it with water, they did, which meant that ships no longer needed to circumnavigate Africa.
Sounds nice.
It's nothing personal. It's a geographic thing. Late that evening, the Ever Given arrives at the Gulf of Suez, here on the map. It's a big
Okay.
open area for ships to park.
What
And
could
there are ships
possibly go
everywhere,
wrong?
sitting idle, waiting for their turn to pass through the canal. Now,
Ah,
the
it's not
helmsman
big enough
is
for
kind of
a lot of
driving
ships to
around
go
the
at
area,
the same
looking
time.
for a
yeah.
place to park and drop anchor. But then, something captures his attention. Hey, what's that mysterious-looking ship over there? It looks abandoned. M.V. Ahmad. M.V. Do not speak its name, helmsman. Why not? Look, there's a spot. That's a handicap. They park the ship, drop anchor, and radio in to the Suez Canal Authority. Thank you for joining the queue. Typical wait time is a few hours, up to 1 business day. Why do we have to wait? Why can't we just go straight through? Because we've got rules here at the canal. A big book of them. No running, no dive bombing, and blah, blah, blah. Somewhere way down the back of the manual it says, all vessels entering or leaving the canal must have a pilot. And in fact, a ship as large as yours needs 2. These pilots are employees of the Canal Authority who understand the perils of the route. Kind of like a consultant to the captain. And they stand around going,
So like a
yes,
guide.
yes, go here, turn coming up here, watch out for the geese.
Sounds about right.
So just stand by for a while, yep? All right, nothing to do till this pilot arrives. Guess I'll take a little bit of me time.
Let
I'm
me
off to the cabin,
guess.
fellas. Don't do anything I
Let
wouldn't
me
do.
guess.
And so just after midnight, Canterville
They can't be asked to wait too long, and then they just go in without one, yeah?
heads back to his quarters to take a nap. Quite a cozy scene, wouldn't you say?
I
But
would
all
say.
is not well on the Ever Given tonight.
What's that?
There seems to be some trouble with the weather. 2:30 a.m. Canterville wakes up. Outside is the loud rattle of shipping containers sparring with the wind. Loud enough to capture Canterville's attention. Rah-rah. He dashes up to the bridge.
Raggy?
All right, what's the status on it being really, really windy outside? The wind is up to 35 knots, but the Ever Given is fine and the anchor is keeping us held. All right, it sounds like I can head back to my quarters then. Wait, Captain. I think we need to move the ship. Yeah, those guys are getting closer and closer to us. We're surrounded by ships like the Al Nasriyah. Their anchors can't withstand the wind and they are being dragged about. We need more buffer or there's risk of a collision. Good thinking. All
Ooh.
right, duty engineer, prep the engines. Aye. The ship kicks to life. The helmsman steers the Ever Given to get further away from the other ships. This whole thing might be cancelled. Port control. Although this waiting area is delightful, the weather outside is very frightful. Is passage through the canal still happening? Not cancelled. Hold position. Your pilot is wrapping up and will be on his way to your vessel soon. They're making us wait. Captain,
How
if
soon
we're
is
struggling
soon?
not to hit ships in this big open area, it's going to get pretty dicey when we have to navigate through a narrow channel like the Suez. Yes. Although you should have said, spoiler warning.
Foreshadowing.
Coming up next on Channel Ad Time.
Welcome back to Raising Sailey. I'm Sailey Man, professional traveler and eSIM user. Finding tourists
Wasn't
to
this
get
guy
them
a villain?
huge savings on an eSIM plan. It ain't for the faint of heart. But if there's one thing I've learned in all my years, when they're traveling, they need data.
I can't get an Uber. I didn't sort out my data before I left.
Got another one? Try.
Wait. What was his name?
Huge savings on an eSIM plan. It ain't for the faint of heart. But if there's one thing I've learned in all my years, when they're traveling, they need data.
I can't get an Uber. I didn't sort out my
Huge
data before I
scrotum.
left.
Got another one? Try this.
Huge
First we
scrotum.
download the Sailey app on your phone. Then we choose how much data we want and where. Then we add the code Internet Historian for 15% off. And don't
Oh
forget
my
the most
god,
important part.
15%?
Mwah.
Sounds like a great deal.
I just gave
I
your
am
phone
going to get
international
Sailey
data using
right
the
away
Sailey
with
app.
the code Internet
Thank you,
Historian.
Sailey Man. Very cool.
So download the
Very
Sailey
cool.
app or scan the
Very
QR
cool indeed.
code on the screen now and use the code Internet Historian to get 15% off at checkout.
It's so beautiful here in the hills of Switzerland.
I'm not clapping,
If
by the
only
way.
I
I'm not
could
using my
listen to
hands.
podcast in the background.
Here comes Sailey Man. Over 200 destinations, 24/7 live chat support, and no physical SIM or roaming fees, because it's just an app.
Could I have my phone back, please?
At Sailey, family comes first, and data comes second. Data comes first. They're both tied for first.
Tonight on Raising Sailey.
Anyone can get Sailey. Dead ones. Sorry I have a boyfriend ones. Or regular.
I have a presentation in 15 minutes at the UN Security Council, and I didn't download the slides. Without this presentation, I'm worried they're going to nuke North Sentinel Island again.
15 minutes to go and he hasn't got the slides.
I'll be the guy who started the next world war without those damn slides.
10 minutes to go and he hasn't got the slides.
History will not look kindly on me without those slides.
Here comes Sailey.
Just
Now
nuke
you
him.
have 10 gigabytes of data
Fuck
on your
'em.
phone. Cheaper than most phone providers.
I love you, Sailey Man.
Hush, little one. I saved it.
The Sailey app really saved me.
This truly was our darkest hour. But we prevailed. It's not an easy job, but Sailey gets me through. So download the Sailey app or scan the QR code on screen and use Internet Historian as the code to get 15% off at checkout. Get some damn data on your phone, why not?
Except
And
I already
over.
have some, so
Some
yeah.
time has passed.
Get
We're
fucked.
back on the bridge. There's the helmsman. Captain's gone back to his quarters. Pilots won't be here for hours. Then suddenly, an idea. The helmsman takes it upon himself to navigate a little bit of art.
Seriously?
Tee-hee-hee, says the helmsman. As long as no one checks the nav data, this won't come back to bite me at all.
What could
A couple of hours
possibly
pass.
go
The
wrong?
wind dies down just a little. No
This
ships
reminds me of that
crashing.
guy, or that maybe it's a meme. I don't know. Maybe it's real. Maybe it's not. But there's this like meme where some guy works for some sort of like some sort of design, or as a designer for a company, and then needs to put like Japanese lettering next to his design or whatever, and then he types in like, I like to suck dick or something in Japanese, and says, oh, no one's gonna read that, no one's gonna know what that means, it's a Japanese, and then he gets fired.
To the Ever Given, but a small one did pull up beside it. Captain, pilots are here. Welcome aboard. Oh, hey, Captain. Yes, we're running late. Where's the helm? We don't know what the pilots' names are, so we're just going to go with blue and red. Okay, I think we should move ahead at about 14 kilometers. That's right. Ahead, 14 kilometers per hour. The Ever Given joins a convoy of ships taking position at the entrance to the canal. Convoy, checking in. Ready. All right, everybody. We want to be alert. Stay focused. Yeah, Captain. I'll follow the other ships. I'll try not to get lost. Hold on, helmsman. And the audience. This is a much more perilous journey than you might know. What, a big straight line? It is 193 kilometers of narrow waterway. And I hope you've got some stamina, because it takes 12 hours to traverse. That's a full day trip. Some parts are only 24 meters deep. Oh, that's very shallow. Yes, and only 200 meters wide in some parts. That's very narrow. I've seen McDonald's drive-thrus with more clearance. And you certainly wouldn't want to have an accident, would you? Because
Then again,
12% of the entire world's sea freight passes through here. If you blocked it, the consequences would be humongous. No pressure, though.
No pressure. Then again, because it's so shallow and it's so thin or narrow, less currents, right? Less things to go wrong. On the flip side, if something does go wrong, well, good luck, everyone else.
Oh, don't mind him. He gives that speech to everybody. Ahead, 14 kilometers per hour. Yes, pilot.
Mr. Blue
14 kilometers.
seems to be kind of an
Steady on.
asshole, though.
So into the canal, the ever-given wind. As they cruise, the winds swirl back onto the sea. No longer buffered by miles of open water, the sand and dust can blow about with abandon. Low visibility. Strong winds jostle the ship. Grit pelts the bow. The Ever-Given steams ahead at about the pace of a fast jog. And there's no real build-up here, to be honest. Things go awry almost immediately. How are you coping with the wind? It's manageable. All right, well, the wind is definitely pushing us to the left-hand side. Yes, just try to keep it as centered as you can. Adjusting.
These winds are quite something. Do you think we should have insisted they postpone?
Well, the pilots don't seem worried, and they know this water better than anyone. The angle of the wind is particularly nasty, catching the enormous surface area of the ship and constantly nudging it off course.
Helmsman, you're still too far to the left. You got to get back to the center.
Yeah, I'm trying.
True.
Adjusting.
Having
The
to go in
helmsman
a
keeps
direct
changing
or a
the
straight
trajectory
line.
of the ship, but he cannot
You're gonna
seem
have to
stay
like
in the
drift.
center.
Come on, Helmsman. We're still not centered.
I know.
You'd have to like constantly be turning and use the entire ship as like a sail, I think. Because if the wind constantly blows against your side, then, you know, you're constantly being pushed. But at the same time, you can't allow yourself to turn too much. So you kind of have to perfectly drift. Damn.
No, it's the wind.
That,
No
this
matter
would be
what
rough
they
to do,
they
actually.
can't seem to get away from the left bank. The wind foils their every countermaneuver. This is not as manageable as I thought it would be. Is it going to be like this the whole way? Don't worry, this is really common. It won't be the whole trip. No. The problem is we're going too slow. Red Pilot takes the initiative. If we speed up, we can push through the wind. Accelerate to 22
Definitely not.
kilometers an hour. Somewhat reluctantly, the helmsman obliges.
I don't think that's a good idea.
22 kilometers per hour.
Engines engaged.
That just
and the
means
ship
that there's
speeds
less
up.
time
Captain, going
to
this fast in
adjust.
heavy winds is needlessly reckless. There are protocols for this sort of thing.
All right, Gene, it's a bit windy. Relax. This must happen all the time. The Red Pilot was right. The increased speed helps them to fight through the wind and get away from the left-hand bank. However, they can't
But-
seem to keep the ship in the very center. Helmsman, you're aimed too severely to the right-hand bank now. We need a bit of leadership here. Don't worry, I know what to do. Turn left. Adjusting. The pilot's giving steering instructions now. Captain, is he supposed to do that? Captain, the pilot is not here to give steering orders. You should say something. The ship is now consistently snaking left and right and left and right.
Yeah, too much
Turn
speed,
to the
hard
right.
to adjust.
So they turn to the right.
But then they end up too far to the right.
You're too close to the right bank now. Turn to the left. Yes, I agree. Turn to the left. Look, this is all a bit tense, and we both know where this is going. It's gonna crash. Let's just enjoy it. Oh, wow. There it is. A gently sloping, sandy bank. Red Pilot, we're just consultants. This isn't our job to steer the ship. You're micromanaging. We should only be giving general navigation advice. We're getting too close to the left bank. I can't keep it centered. We have to slow this ship down. If we slow down, the wind will push us into the bank.
What do I do? Reduce the speed.
Jesus
Pilots
Christ.
begin bickering. And not just bickering normally. They're bickering in Arabic. Arabickering. And Canthable's crew doesn't speak Arabic. What the hell are they saying? I don't know. Neither do I. Does anyone here speak Arabic?
There it is.
The Ever Given has
Yo,
reached its
so
target
glorious
speed of 22 kilometers
sandy
an hour,
bank.
but they're taking wider and wider turns and can't seem to get anywhere near the center of the lane. And the two pilots, they're still fighting. Captain? Captain! Pilots! Captain! The Ever Given then reaches an extreme, unrecoverable angle, pointing acutely to the right, straight for the
Yeah. We're home, baby. Welcome home.
We need to turn left. Now. Hard left. Hard to the left. Hard to the left. The rudder turns. But
Hard
the
to
ship
port.
doesn't turn with it. Instead, it slides. Didn't I tell you to turn left? Why aren't we turning? I am turning to the left, Captain. The ship's not responding. I knew this would happen. It's your fault. The helmsman loses his ability to steer. The ship has gone out of control.
Ah, yes.
Captain. Canterville
Feels
finally
good to be
steps
home.
forward. Enough! Helmsman, center the rudder. Reduce speed. Rudder center. Reduce... But it's too late.
Well, of course it
Canterville
is.
did not intervene in time. Shit.
And it's gonna block the entire fucking... And because it's so long, it's probably going to
Crew
block
can feel the
the
vibration
entire
through the floor
of
as the bow
the
meets
canal.
the bank.
Yep.
That bow, raised 6 meters, slides into the bank with ease, like a hot pencil through pudding. Meanwhile, the rear of the ship is pulled into the opposite bank. The bridge shakes and the crew lurches forward as 300,000 tons of momentum is reduced to 0 in the span of a couple of seconds. We've run aground, we've run aground, cut your engines, Canthaville yells out on the radio, because don't forget, these ships are running as a convoy, which means that the ships behind them have just seen what's happened, and they all have to slam on the brakes. A couple of ships back, the Asia Ruby 3 suffers an engine malfunction, and it cannot stop as quickly as it intends to, and nearly plows into the back of the Maersk Denver. They manage to stop themselves just in time and prevent running aground as well. Pan back to the Ever Given. Let us look at it from above. It is diagonally wedged across the entire canal. An unplanned bridge connecting 2 continents. A ship collision of such magnitude, there's almost nothing to compare it to. Maybe Hindenburg? 9/11? I'll keep Googling. No, hold off on the dramatic sound effects. There's no need to panic just yet. It's like a car tire stuck in the mud. We simply reverse. Full astern. That means full backwards.
I don't think that's
Propellers
gonna
at the
work.
back of the ship whiz to little effect.
locked in place by the
You
sand.
probably need to
We didn't move.
push
Nearly a run-up. Crash astern.
the ship from both
That's the most
sides.
dramatic version of full
to kind
astern.
of
Ramping up
dislodge
to
it.
full thrust as quickly as possible.
Like push the
Nothing.
No, stop it.
the
No
front
sound
and
effect
back
just
of the
yet.
ship in
We
the
still
right
have one more
directions.
option. Start up the bow thrusters.
They're the jets at the front of the ship that give a little bit of extra oomph. Crash astern, full thrusters. No effect, sir.
Ah, yes, the dramatic sound effects.
Now, we don't have the transcript from here, so we'll just presume that at the time, Canterville said something very quirky and millennial, like,
So that just happened. But what we do know is that he and the pilots then jumped on the radio and got in contact with the port authority.
we've got something to tell you, and you gotta promise not to get mad. Shut up. Look, listen, we're gonna need a tugboat.
We are run aground.
The helmsman takes a turn at being millennial.
There are other ships right behind me, aren't there? Uh-huh. And there
Gulp.
were, as the queue of container ships piling up behind them got longer and longer.
Make that 2 tugboats.
So what happened here exactly? And who is in big trouble? Explainer time! There are
I would
three
say the
main
captain.
causes to why the ship crashed. Let's start with the wind. The captain could have very easily said, "Guys, the wind is far too severe. Let's postpone." But he didn't. However,
I mean-
the blame's not all on.
Ultimately, in situations like this, I would say the captain is responsible, right? Like the captain is the captain for a reason and has to be able to tell when something is too dangerous or something is not worth going for. And I would say the captain had multiple opportunities to say no, or we should wait until the wind blows, wind goes away. Or even while they were bickering about how to turn and how to navigate the canal, he probably should have said something earlier.
On Canterville, the two pilots could have also said, "Let's just follow protocol," by radioing in to HQ and saying, "Yes, get us 2 tugboats, please." With one on each side at the front, they would have had far more stability and control, and they wouldn't need to erratically fight about with the wind to
That was an option?
stay in the middle of the lane. Second cause, the speed of the ship. Now, it was the red pilot who told the helmsman, "Accelerate the ship to 22 kilometers per hour." But when he did that, they were already driving at the speed limit for their weight class, 14 kilometers per hour. And telling the helmsman to go beyond that meant that they are technically breaking the rules. And while I agree that some rules are made to be broken, going this fast in a very large ship in a comparatively small canal causes a whole bunch of problems to do with fluid dynamics. Big problems. Huge.
5 fun physics phenomena.
Now, I don't know the physics, and if I did, I wouldn't tell you. But what I will say is this. Speeding up causes something approximating oversteer. The ship becomes all slidey. I'm just going to turn a little bit to the left, but instead you go a lot to the left. I'll just turn right a little bit, but instead you turn to the right a lot.
I mean, the bigger
Remember how
the
careful
load,
navigators
the
was
harder
like,
it is.
"Come on, guys, we have to get back to the center of the lane." Well, they can't, because every time they try to direct back to the center, the speed and the oversteer
ships turn
means
very
they
slowly as well.
overshoot it. One more effect of going very fast.
I will sneeze. Wait for it.
Take a look at this animation side on. Water pressure effects cause the ship to tilt. At this speed, the front is raised 6 meters higher than usual, which means when they collide with the bank, combined with the high velocity, they really wedge themselves in. But we can't just blame everything on the physicists, because there's a third main cause: poor communication. English is the official language of pretty much every port. However, the
As it
pilots
always
start
is.
arguing with each other in Arabic, which is not just unprofessional, but excludes all of the rest of the crew from what's being discussed. And all of these competing voices make for chaos on the bridge. But the blame is not all on the co-pilots either. The captain is always in charge. He has the ultimate authority. Decisions start and end with him. So the captain should have intervened and said something like, "Shut up, everybody." But he doesn't. He stands there quite
The Chad
passive
man.
throughout.
The Giga Chad.
By the time he does step in, it's too late. Now that everything's been laid out, who would you say is at fault for the crash of the Ever Given? The helmsman? Blue pilot? The red pilot? Canthaville?
The captain.
I'll tell you. Society, that's who.
Oh my god.
You
I was at fault.
And I think you should apologize.
I am so sorry. It was my fault. I knew I shouldn't have given those glasses to that stupid-ass idiot captain.
Alrighty, so we have something 3.5 times the size of the Titanic, choking the world's largest freighting canal like a greedy seagull throating a glue stick. Good start.
That's an image.
And they didn't get very far through the canal itself. About 5% of the progress bar. But if we scroll up for a second, we can see what landmarks they missed out on. The Great Bitter Lake, named so because the water there is very salty instead of fresh. Then up a 2-lane bit and over to Timsah Lake, named so because Timsah is the Arabic word for crocodile, because there used to be crocodiles in there. Otherwise, it's pretty much zip right through to the Mediterranean. That would have been very nice for them. Now we go back a bit to Timsah Lake, and here you'll find the city of Ismailia. And at its port, see this building? This is the Suez Canal Authority. Inside, Captain El Said, head of navigational control, is just settling in for the day. As he sits down to his desk,
Captain, you're gonna want to see this.
the video feed pulls up.
What? Line 1.
We're stuck. We'd like to request a tugboat. Stuck? Stuck where? You know that single lane area pretty close to the entrance? There. Now, had this happened in one of the 2-lane sections, they could have kept the traffic flowing. But alas. What? So you're blocking all the traffic? Mr. Al Said, we already promised we wouldn't get mad. Fine.
I gotta see how bad it is in person. Al Said snatches his keys off his desk and he races down to his car, rushing to the scene.
He gets out and casts his eyes upon the ship.
My God.
Towering over him
We're
is a
fucked.
structure the width and breadth of the world's largest Walmart, except it is also 15 stories tall.
Oh, jeez.
The bow, raised 6 meters higher than normal, is jammed into one side.
How
Like
do
an
you
unwitting
even-
finger in a Chinese finger trap that somebody filled with Gorilla Glue in its prom tomorrow. And the ass of the ship, firmly squatting aground on the other side. And the middle of the ship, making bended metal groans as it's barely suspended by only a few meters of water. Al Said lets the sand run through his fingers.
As one does.
Another important person arrives on the scene. Admiral Rabi. He is the Suez Canal Authority chairman, the big boss of the whole canal. Here's the rough structure of the organization. He's all the way up here, right?
Oh, no.
So high up that he reports directly to the Pharaoh of Egypt himself. Yep, that's one blocked canal.
No, Mr. President. He didn't say blocked.
Shut up. He said that canal rocked. He's giving it a 5-star review. Come on, follow me to the bridge. Now, Al Said and Rabi board the ship, and it's a hell of a scene. The crew is racing around. Oh God, they're gonna check the nav data. They're gonna see the dick pic. Oh God. Canthaville's standing back taking a panicked phone call with the operating company. Okay, so 2 pilots walk into a ship, and the first one says, and the 2 pilots from before are still bickering.
All right, you two are dismissed. Canterville.
Clearly, those guys don't like each other.
This is the end of my career. This is going to cost $1 billion.
Al Said puts his hand on Canterville's shoulder. Do not worry, my friend. We shall solve this.
Come on, Captain. What's the status? Well, the ship isn't floating. Yeah. No, what I mean is the situation is worse than you think. It's the way we're pitched up on the shore. The weight distribution is all wrong. We're like a raised bridge, but we don't have any of the support underneath. The middle of the ship could bend under its own weight and tear.
So it could sink?
Yeah.
That would shut down the whole canal for months.
Are we taking on water? No, I've had the engineers check the hull. We can't see water making ingress anywhere. Yet. The best way to get free and the best way to prevent the ship from potentially sinking is to lighten the load. We need to get rid of at least, I don't know, like 20,000 tons. How quickly do you think your crew can offload containers? No. Look how high those boxes are stacked. To offload these containers is going to require specialist equipment. The kind you'd only find at a dedicated port. We're not going to be able to offload these containers out here in the middle of nowhere. All right, well, it's the easiest, most brute force solution you can think of. The ballast tanks. Go on. We've got nearly 10,000 tons of ballast water on board. We can dump that right now and relieve some pressure.
Excellent idea. I'll get started.
No, you can't do that. Well, why not? Allow me to explain.
You see, when a ship fills its ballast tanks, it's filling with more than just water.
It's a big, dilute, salty soup of algae, plant material, and even sometimes small fish.
Okay.
Pick that up in Malaysia, and then just dump that at the next port.
You're introducing these stowaway pest species into the environment. Some examples of these invasive species include the Northern Pacific Sea Star, the European green crab, that son of a bitch, and cholera.
Okay.
So you have to treat the water before you discharge it, usually through heat or chemicals. And the key there is that it also requires time and access to one of these treatment machines. And we're not at a port. It's going to take much longer than usual. But let me get onto the line with the guys at Ismailia. We probably have a portable water treatment machine somewhere.
Al Said turns and looks out the window. Coming down the canal are 2 tugboats, the ones that they ordered earlier. Look, we might not even be that deeply wedged in. These 2 tugboats might be all we need. Yes.
Might.
Tugboats.
Unlikely.
This is the Mosaid
Considering
2
the
and the Mosaid
length of this
3.
video, very unlikely.
These 2 little guys are able to pull around this massive cargo ship, comparable in size to the Ever Given. On go the ties. Line secure, all fast. Engine ready. Ready to pull. Canterville looks nervously at El Said. Commence pull. Slow ahead.
The polyethylene ropes whine as they're pulled taut from the water. The tugboats lightly draw against the ship, testing for resistance.
All right, a little more. 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 Full power. Nothing. Not an inch of difference. All right, stop engines. Be on standby.
This isn't going to work. With just 2 tugboats, we do not have the pull for a ship this massive,
Yeah,
this
just get 10
deeply
more.
grounded. It's also low tide. That's not helping. Wind's high tide. Early afternoon, in a couple of hours. All right, that buys us some time. How soon do you think you can get a dredger out here? Let me find out for you. Please hold. The dredgers can remove the sand below the waterline that's all built up around the ship.
That's actually what I was going to say as well, because something similar happened to me one time when the car I was in ended up getting caught on some snow. It was very, very snowy on the road, and we ended up going off the road. Thankfully, it was kind of like a I don't want to say farm area, but it was like a plain, normal grassy field area. Went off the road down a little slope, and then got stuck in the snow, and then eventually I had the idea that we can like, because we had to bring we had to call for a fucking tug, you know, whatever you call the cars that tug other cars out of ditches, I guess. We have to call one of those, and then I dug a path for the car back up to the road, basically in front of it, as well as a lot of the snow that was like around the car as well, just so there would be some traction. You know, otherwise we just couldn't get the car to move at all.
Take a day, maybe 2. All right, tell them to hurry. A day or 2? I'd better update my boss. Let him know it's not gonna be a quick fix. I should call my wife as well. All right, don't go too far. I need you for something in a minute. Hey, what about excavators? Oh yeah, how many we got? Right now? No, for my birthday. Yeah, now. 1. 1 guy. There's only 1 excavator on standby for the whole canal. Well, it's just post-COVID. Everyone's been excavating from home. Patch me through. There really was just 1 guy, by the way. It's local contractor Abdullah. So he picks up the phone. Mushy mushy. There's been a big accident at the canal, Abdullah. There's sand.
One sec.
And dirt everywhere. I need your help.
Just send me the deets, Chum.
This guy seems like a regular everyday hero.
And when he pulls up, gut in Himmel, he sees the massive Evergiven wedged into the canal.
Abdullah locks himself into his excavator and gets to work on the most important task he's ever done digged. Back on the bridge.
These ships are massive.
Okay. Yep. No. Love you too. Okay. Bye. Whew, the boss was not happy. Hey, before you said you needed me for something. I did. Who's this?
Breathe into this tube.
Also, you have to do a drug test. After the crash, they tested Canthaville for drugs and alcohol. Both came up negative. There's also a procedure to make sure that captains aren't fatigued. They look at the rest schedule and they find, no, Canthaville took that nap. Remember? He's had plenty of rest time. So he passed the fatigue assessment. And while Canthaville was at the nurse's office, high tide came and went. Tugs were tried again. And again. Tried a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It didn't work. All day trying, all evening, and into the early morning. But that stubborn ship
tugboats
was going nowhere.
Day 2. It wasn't the sand that held them there. It was the curse.
Of course.
Of an ancient Egypt,
the moon.
Egypt pharaoh. The curse of the moon.
Day 2.
There's quite a queue of ships by this point, and they're all honking their horns impatiently. Hey, move your ass! I got Frozens in the back. Go around! Go around!
No one knows quite what's happening because the Suez Canal Authority has not made a formal statement. But their hand is about to be forced when an impatient sailor behind the Evergiven takes a photograph and publishes it online. And this starts a bit of a buzz on social media.
Obviously.
It was at this very moment that the helmsman's most feared fear was most realized. Someone pulled up the navigational data.
Colonel?
Within 24 hours, it was all over the news.
Oh my God.
So over at the
Penis.
Suez offices, Mr. Rebbe, you have 300 voicemails. Telemarketers? Important clients and journalists. They're asking about whether the canal is blocked, aren't they? They're asking about whether the canal is blocked, yes.
I think the helmsman is the true hero of this story.
And the Suez Canal Authority could keep it a secret no longer. They held a press conference. Okay. This is crazy. Let's say,
Funny story.
Hypothetically, they didn't give many details, but it was a very inspirational press conference. The news begins reporting on the story.
It's blocked. Cargo ship blocking the Suez Canal is a huge container ship.
There's just the most incredible drama playing out in the Suez Canal.
A massive container ship longer than the Eiffel Tower.
It's one of the world's most important shipping lanes.
And breaking news from the Nana Star News Channel. I'm Nana.
Hello,
Mega
Nana.
ship's big ass is stuck in the Suez Canal.
Right. Point is, this story exploded everywhere. There was a lot of sympathy to go around.
I appear to have blocked global trade.
And the internet, upon seeing it, went, these guys need some help. We would love to volunteer.
That's not a picture of a naked woman. I need to help them.
They knew best about what to do to get this ship unstuck. All right, it's time for the "yeah, I reckon you could pretty much just do this and it'd work" section.
By far the most popular solution.
The funny thing is that whenever you say that people on the internet try to help something, it's either a perfect solution or it's completely wrong. I mean, we've seen those, I believe Internet Historian actually made a video on a whole series on the fucking, what's his name? What was the guy's name? Shia LaBeouf. And his fucking, what was his fucking thing? I'm not American, so I don't know this shit. Like, he will not divide us or whatever. And we saw in those videos how extremely smart the internet can be when trying to figure things out. But on the flip side, when it's something like this, I guess, when it's more about like solutions and not finding things, then let's just say the solutions aren't always the best solutions.
Simply blow it up. No ship, no problem.
Okay. Why don't they just blow up the boat after rescuing the crew? What is blocking the Suez Canal? Wouldn't that lost blah, blah, blah? Because when you blow something up, the body of the ship doesn't just disappear. It's not a video game. Why don't they just bomb, dismantle, or somehow sink the ship? Dismantling takes a massive amount of time. Sinking the ship, the fucking depth of the canal is what was it, like 24 meters or something? It would still be blocking the canal. Why don't we just strap bombs to the ship, blocking the Suez, and blow the ship up? I wonder why. Can France nuke the cargo ship? Yep, sounds like a great idea.
But why wouldn't this work? Well, first you're blowing up $1 billion worth of cargo. And this thing is about 3 times the size of Mount Rushmore. So there's quite a lot of debris to sweep up, actually. And you still haven't solved the problem of moving the thing out of the fucking canal.
Next idea. What if we attach 1,000 helicopters and simply fly the thing out?
1,000
you can
helicopters,
take it all the way to its destination in the Netherlands.
Well, the problem is this thing weighs about 300,000 tons. So even if you had a really powerful helicopter, you're going to need like 25,000 of them. And you can't put them all together in one area or they'll all crash. It ain't gonna work.
En route to help. Hey, maybe pull up a bit.
Next. Alright, more seriously, why don't we take a whole bunch of old jet engines, weld them to the sides of the ship,
turn them all on at once, and whee, the day is saved.
Okay.
However,
there is a risk of an explosion. And then you'd have a hole in the ship. And then the ship sinks, and then you're really never moving it. Hear me out. Liquid nitrogen. A lot of liquid nitrogen right under the boat. The water freezes, expands, the ship lifts up, Bob's your uncle, you love it. Except now, the ship is just stuck in ice. And then it melts, and then you're back to the exact same position. Also, you need like $1 billion worth of nitrogen. There's no way to get that much material, let alone handle the scale of that material. Also, everyone's going to freeze to death on board, and the ballast will expand in the tanks, and that'll destroy the ship. It's not going to work. All right. Last idea. Best idea. What if we just actively made things worse? Such as this petition to add a second boat to the canal.
That sounds like an amazing idea.
One humble comment did stand out from the crowd.
Get a few people on this side, a few people on that side, push it, and I really think it would go.
Well, maybe. Because that's exactly what the recovery team intended to do. Ahoy! Ah, good to see you back from the nurse. I told them I didn't do any drugs, but they wouldn't take my word for it. I would have believed you. Hey, just give me the walkie-talkie. All right, full ahead with the excavators. 3 more excavators join Abdullah, and they are all busily digging out the front and rear of the ship. It's still going too slow. What else we got? More rescue stuff. So here comes Rabbi pulling up to the scene. Good news, fellas. And he's standing atop a very powerful bit of kit. A big, beautiful dredger. To be specific, a cutter suction dredge. Essentially, you've got a big rotating cutting tool that loosens up all the soil, while a big suction pipe sends it yonder. All right, do the dredgy. Full speed. What else we got? We got more tugboats incoming. More and more tugboats join the fray. A total of 8, arranged around the ship like this. Notably, the Baraka 1 and the Izzat Adel. These are 2 of the most powerful tugboats in the Middle East. And that includes the non-deserty parts. Full ahead with those. They keep trying. A cacophony of engines playing the highest stakes game of tug-of-war ever attempted. Tens of millions of dollars being lost every hour until it was won. And their opponent? Unbothered, moisturized, taking up the whole lane. Unbudgeable. All right, we're calling it for now.
I expected something to budge a little.
We've thrown everything we can at this ship, and it won't concede an inch. It's hopeless, hopeless. The cynicism of youth. I've worked for many years on the Suez. There's magic in the water, Canterville. Magic. We will succeed. Your words are empty, El Said. Optimism has blinded you, El Said. We cannot defeat the canal. It is simply too powerful.
Negativity will destroy us, my friend.
I'd just forget about the Ever Given and buy a new ship. Well, we can't afford a new ship. The owners of the Ever Given, Shoei Kaisen Kaisha Limited, are getting very worried. I need that ship back, and I can't just leave it to the Suez Canal Authority to do it. There's only one team daring and foolhardy enough to take on a job like this.
A Nokia.
Kaisen calls up an elite salvaging company from the Netherlands. Smit Salvage. We need your help. I got your number from you know who. Smit is the industry's best. They have response centers all over the globe, 24/7, ready to respond to marine emergencies. And funnily enough, they're the same team that helped with the rescue of the Costa Concordia back in 2012. Suit up, boys. They put the ocean in Ocean's 11, the tide in Tide Pod. And sometimes they pee in the water. Why not? The fish do it. We're en route to the canal. ETA in the next 24 hours.
Have you peed in the water? Be honest. If you're watching this right now, be honest. You've peed in the water, haven't you? 100%. I know you have. Don't lie. Just tell the truth. Disgusting. Disgusting.
Next time on Boat in Canal. The prophecy. It's coming true. Kiss me, you fool. I'm beginning to think you don't want to get the boat free. Well, is it the Yanny wire or the Laurel wire?
Laurel.
I couldn't hear you. You're breaking up. Ha ha ha. There's only one way this was ever gonna go. It's now day 3. There's more digging, more tugging, but the ship is still exactly where they left it. And the slow pace of progress is starting to cause problems for international trade. Each delayed ship represents thousands of tons of undelivered stock for store shelves.
I think
queue is.
I think there was like there was this I think like a couple of years ago there was the I think like American, was it American? I don't remember, but some sort of like protest when it came to the shipping like dock workers or something. And they like wanted more money and better benefits and whatever. And then because they were protesting, apparently it was like, I don't remember what I read exactly, but I'm pretty sure they said that the freight ships or whatever, the you know, all those docks basically bring in quite a large percentage of all goods from other countries. So it was like damn, like I didn't expect the percentage to be that large. So it's like if something like this happens, I'd imagine like maybe like up to 10% of goods can just immediately just stop. Maybe even more than that. Maybe up to even like 20-30%. Because most of the stuff is either by plane or by ship, I think.
Getting longer.
Most of them are by ship, I think.
And longer. On board, an estimated $9.6 billion worth of goods is sitting idle.
Each day.
It will spoil. And the big question is, how long until this thing is fixed? To answer this burning question, the Suez Canal Authority holds another press conference and declares, guys, another day, maybe 2, might even be this afternoon. But the media and industry experts disagree.
The truth of the matter is that they're not making much ground. I mean, is this proving to be more difficult than originally expected?
Could be closed for weeks.
It could take weeks.
Could be stuck for weeks.
Weeks. That's how long it could take to free the container ship currently blocking the Suez Canal.
So that means all of these ship operators here, waiting in the queue, have a very difficult choice to make.
Do they
basically,
wait
I've
or
just
go
got
around?
2 options. One, I can wait around hoping the ship gets unstuck, which nobody knows how long that's going to be. Or option 2, we go all the way around Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And I really don't want to do that, and it's not just a geographic thing. Freighters don't want to go around Africa because it will cost them far more in terms of fuel. It adds 10 extra days to the route. And most importantly, pirates.
Pirates, assassins, and gay pirate assassins.
Now,
Oh
there
my
be 2
god,
main
not the
pirate
gay
hangouts.
pirate assassins.
The Somali pirates, everyone knows about them.
But the more prolific group is actually in the Gulf of Guinea. Named so because it holds the Guinness World Record for most pirates. In fact, in 2020,
96% of all maritime kidnappings happened in the Gulf of Guinea. That doesn't sound very good to me, Mr. Kaisha. And I just want you to know that you've made an enemy. And when I... Is your boat running? 'Cause you better fucking move it. You can't park there. All right, hear me out. I'm thinking a bunch of helicopters, right? And we... There are a lot of people now who are angry with the owners of the Ever Given. There's only one thing I can do. Bing, 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 bong. Breaking news. Pause for a second.
Shoei Kaisen Kaisha is big sorry.
The owners of the Ever Given feel such enormous pressure that they go live on television to make a public apology.
We are determined to keep on working hard to resolve the situation as soon as possible. Please do not be mad. In a few years, we'll all have a big laugh about it.
Yours sincerely, Mr. Kaisha. Oh God, that's the boss of my boss's boss. I'm in so much trouble. Can't do anything about it. All we can do is keep trying to free the ship. So they keep going. And going. Into the night. And on that night,
I mean, they're only on day 3 still,
Canterville and El
right?
Said had a heart-to-heart. The mood was very somber. Still feeling optimistic, El Said? Of course. Well, it's day 3. How much progress have you seen so far?
They're gonna blow us up, aren't they? It's possible. They're gonna freeze us, aren't they? That seems less likely. They might just attach a whole bunch of jet engines and we're gonna get fucked up.
That one got debunked. Sorry, I don't mean to take it out on you. It's just...
So
all
melodramatic.
these guys, they rely on me. The navigator, the helmsman, Gene, and the other ones we never animated. But I'm thinking maybe I should just get on a lifeboat right now and never look back. I could go live on an island somewhere, far, far away from here. Run away? Look at this. Timu neck massager for Sally. I bet she's checking her mailbox every morning. Bulk $6 fingerless gloves for Mr. Poe Box. You want to disappoint him? No. Little Jimmy won't be getting his 20-pack of kitchen tongs this Christmas. And you think that doesn't kill me inside? But we've exhausted every option. There's nothing on Earth that could free this ship.
I wonder where he gets the
that's where you're right.
the animation,
Look up there,
you know,
little Kathy.
the body, like where he pulls all this shit from.
El Said points up into the night sky. Los Lunos. Yes, the moon. The sun of the night. To the ancient Egyptians, it was a sign of hope. And in a few more nights' time, a prophecy will be fulfilled.
Oh my God, it will.
The supermoon. I have to show you a kind of boring diagram. I'm so sorry.
You see, the moon doesn't just orbit the Earth in a perfectly equidistant circle. It is, in fact, an ellipse. That means there is a point when the moon is the furthest from the Earth, and we call that the apogee. And there's also a point where it's closest to the Earth. That's the perigee. You know when you look into the night sky and the moon seems bigger or smaller than usual? Different distances, innit?
Point is, the moon gravities all over the water. And the closer it is, the more it's going to pull. Now, there's another effect as well. If you believe the mainstream media, the Earth is going around the sun like this. And once in a while, it will also align with the sun being on the exact opposite side. Bam! At this point, when everything lines up like so, both the sun and the moon are at max strength pulling on the sea. And they call that the supermoon. And the tidal effects of both combine for an even greater pull. High tide can be even higher than usual, sometimes by up to 1.5 feet.
Okay.
Now, these sorts of moons only happen 3 or 4 times a year. But in 4 days,
it's the prophecy.
We're going to get one.
Dramatic music.
Previously on Boat in Canal. Don't let go!
I'll never let go, Jack.
My plans have all fallen into place. I thought I knew what being a captain meant. What do you mean, cut the black and blue wire? There's only white and gold! We've got one chance left. The moon. This is just like that Costa Concordia video he did, but way less funny.
Well.
Over at the Ever Given, things are
Not
status
necessarily.
quo. But online, there's a bit of a new development.
What
A
is this?
screenshot of a
What
news
is this
article
goddamn
cargo ship?
What is that goddamn? Where is this from? Where does he get his footage from?
Screenshot of a news article appears. Cargo ship crashes into Suez Canal. Captain involved in incident. But there's a twist. Uh-oh. Is that a woman?
It's a woman.
Egypt's first female sea captain, Marwa El-Sahar, was being named in this headline as responsible for crashing the Ever Given.
Huh?
And the screenshot of this news headline spread all across social media. For Marwa to have screwed up this badly is impressive. Especially considering she's never worked on the Ever Given and is currently hundreds of miles away in Alexandria.
But someone online went, first female captain? Grody? Suez blockage? She must have did it.
Marwa found out about the accusations through a friend and quickly hopped online. I gotta clear my name. Guys, it isn't me! But the online bad guys must have hacked her account, because everything she wrote just came out in squiggles. So Marwa tried to hack back.
Classic.
This code,
I hate it when that happens.
It's nothing I've ever seen before. They're countering my hack. I'm gonna reroute the hosting. Not if I can help it. They ran through the firewall. Use IP.
They make it sound kind of like a joke, but I would not believe, or I would not be surprised that this would happen. Because ultimately, you know, if the majority opinion of the internet thinks something, then it basically becomes true. Even if there's evidence against it, doesn't really matter. It's kind of stupid, but you know, it is what it is.
While we can all agree that a lady captain is very gross and icky, and while we all agree that she should be doing a lady job, like adding rosemary oil to the ballast water, or knitting hand warmers for the steering wheel, it was not fair that she was being falsely accused. And the situation was escalating as the online bad guys started making fake accounts pretending to be her. What was Marwa, etc. to do against such a coordinated campaign? Well, luckily...
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if her entire life or career is ruined. Just because of online memes, essentially.
A surprise hero to the story. The mainstream media showed up and did a thing.
Don't worry.
Bringing her onto the telly and clearing everything up. Marwa even found some positive in the situation.
I was really upset at the beginning, but later on I found like the support from all people around me, and that made me feel like more grateful for what happened.
A lot of the social media posts got taken down.
At least she took it well.
And in the end, it all turned out okay. At least, for her. Back to the Ever Given. The Ever Given has been grounded for 4 long Egyptian days.
Oh my god,
so
it has.
tug. Dig, dig, dig. Pull, pull, pull. Fuel is getting low. Everyone is overdue for a break. All right, guys. Grab a Red Bull and a little snacky. We'll pick up again soon.
Yes,
but
sir.
As the engines wind down, the crew can hear something approaching. Who the hell is that? It's Smith Selvage.
Oh yeah, it's the professionals.
The Smith team boldly actions onto the scene, looking at the ship very inspectively. They report their findings to the rescue team. All right. Ain't no
The ship appears to be
expert,
stuck.
But if you want a chance of moving this ship, you're going to need to make it a lot lighter. By tens of thousands of tons at least. Is it going to bend and tear? And sink? No, it doesn't look like it's going to do that. But it also doesn't look like it's going anywhere with all of this weight on the back. Okay, we trust you. What's your plan to make the ship lighter? I know a guy. He's got a crane. I'll get it down here. We'll offload all the containers. It'll be brilliant. You're gonna love it. The container thing again? Yeah, how long is that gonna take? Well, to get them down here and to get all the equipment assembled, we're gonna need at least a few weeks. Weeks? Yeah, and to get all the containers off the ship, that might take several months.
Months?
No, Mr. President, he didn't say months. He said...
Cunts?
Monks. Those Shaolin guys. They're very
close enough.
strong.
Same
Everything's
thing.
going according to plan. A furious rabbi marches in. Do you have any idea how much these last few days have cost Egypt already? We've had to sell parts of the Sphinx. Look, the nose is gone. It's looking all messed up. We turned the
It's
whole
Voldemort.
country into an e-commerce site. It used to just be called Gypt. Now it's online. Egypt. Remember Tutankhamun? Now it's Tutankhamun. Get it? It's a pun. Get it? Let's move on, says the Smith guy standing in for the audience. Look, this is by far the best option. Yeah, it's slow and laborious, but it's a guaranteed fix. Or you can carry on doing what you're doing now. You're on what, day 4? How's progress so far? Al-Sayed wouldn't hear it. We will continue with the dredging and the tugging. The supermoon will be here soon, and that will save us. You are foolish.
All
Al-Sayed.
hail
The legend
the
of the
supermoon.
supermoon is just a legend. All right, we're on the same team here. If you insist on keeping the cargo aboard and just tugging, we've got resources to help. Smith calls in 2 additional tugboats. And not just big ones. Pretty much the biggest ones you can get. So Smith and the recovery team have figured out a sort of plan A and plan B.
What is this? What movie is this?
Plan
Fucking
A
hell.
is to pull the Ever Given free by the supermoon, which is only 2 days away. Now, if that doesn't work, they'll have to go to Plan B, which is to offload by crane most of these containers, and that will take months.
Obviously, we tried the supermoon. Why wouldn't we? Everyone is mad. Day 5.
Watching on impatiently, tapping their feet and looking at their watches very aggressively, is now a queue of 400 vessels waiting to use the canal. Fresh fruit, thousands of tons, losing its freshness. Medicine, losing its potency.
After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill. You take the red.
God damn it.
Not to mention livestock.
More than a dozen ships have live animals on board.
Mostly sheep and cattle, lightly sizzling under an Egyptian sun. The Egyptian government has had to
Only
dispatch
lightly.
vets to board these ships to tend to the animals' welfare. A few days ago, when I was a younger man, freight from Asia only cost $8,000
When I
a
was
container.
a young boy.
Now it's $12,000. And the impact is being felt by a lot of larger companies. Renault, for example, ran out of some critical components and had to halt assembly at a couple of its plants. Adidas, Nike, IKEA all saw shortages.
Some of our clients are out of their top-selling
Yeah.
SKUs already.
And as tankers queue, oil prices are rising.
Yeah, I feel like
people go
when something like this
through the
happens,
little waterway, please.
it's a pretty good indication that maybe you should think about making the canal a little wider and a little deeper.
Meanwhile, all across the day, the tugs are trying again and again. Move a little more sand, wait for the next high tide, try again. And as this marches on with the same futility as day 1, banking on the supermoon looks like a costlier and costlier gamble. All right, enough of this.
Yeah,
About
but what
100
else can they
ships
do?
Opting instead to go the long route around Africa, accepting the longer traffic time and piratey risk.
The supermoon cometh in its pants. Crab.
The supermoon. It's tonight. There's a renewed
God, it
energy
is.
as people scuttle around the area, doing everything they can to prep the ship for the big event. The excavator crew, over the course of the week, has expanded to a team of 11, working double, sometimes triple shifts with only 3 hours a day for sleep. Together
They
with
must
the
be
two
getting
dredgers,
paid
they have
for
moved
this.
30,000 cubic meters of sand and soil. For comparison, this is 1 cubic meter, and this is 30,000 cubic meters. And here is what it looks like next to the Ever Given. That's a lot of sand. Subway sandwich for scale. And it's borne some results. Overnight, they managed to free the rudder from the left bank. And that's a big deal, because this rudder was acting as a bit of an anchor in the sand. Now free, the stern bobs around with the motion of the water. Great stuff.
That's good.
Meanwhile, the crew is doing everything it can to lighten the weight of the ship. That includes making a second plea for the ballast water to be ejected. Oh, please, the Smith guy's already tinkled in there. We just can't do it. It would destroy the ecosystem of Egypt. Please, 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 please. All right. Biodiversity. Let 1,000 algae bloom. Nice work. That'll make the ship 9,000 tons lighter, Kenthy. The water's so bright, I can barely see it coming out of the ship. Here, take these. No.
It's my sunglasses.
I don't deserve them. Sunglasses are for people who redeem themselves. That's not me.
Pick them up.
Hold on to them, just in case.
So that's where they were dirty when I got them back.
Keeps up. We see Abdullah excavating away.
Shaking my head.
But really, he's thinking about the moon. Rabbi, he's busy taking video calls. But he finds himself distracted with thoughts of the moon. Even Mr. Kaisha. Is there anything in this world that doesn't remind me of her?
Please, Mr. Supermoon,
More
save us.
breaking news from the Suez Canal problem. Evergiver is stuck in the Suez Canal still. It's been almost a week. A tugboat should be able to move Evergiver's big ass. This is Nana Star, Nana Star's news channel.
What is that channel, man? Someone just reading out random articles
kissing the
on their
nape
YouTube
of
channel?
the canal's neck with its gravity lips. Full tongue. The canal liked it.
Why?
And spoiling the romance of the moment is a big fleet of tugboats, watching on voyeuristically. They are 17 in total, with just a bit over 1,600 tons of bollard pull. And here's how they're arranged around the Ever Given. Of the four most powerful tugs, 2 go at the front, and 2 go at the back. They'll be pulling.
Promising.
Another 6 tugs are put on the flanks. 2 over here, 4 over here. They'll be pushing. The remaining tugs are fueled and ready on the sidelines, waiting for their chance to sub in. Positioned like this, when the word is given, all these ships are going to try and turn the Ever Given anti-clockwise. Looks great, guys! Do you think that this is going? I believe in the supermoon. This had better work. The guy with the ruler down by the shoreline yells out, "The tide has hit its peak!" El Sayed commands over the radio. Start main engines.
It's time.
Tension on. Full ahead. The tugs start moving. They carve through the water with ease. The immense power from the tugs meet the resistance of the Ever Given. It was at this point that the narrator said something really poetic. Stuff about the night. About how the ships were like dancers on the water. For juxtaposition, we cut away to that crab again. Which everybody hated. It's like a metaphor if you think about it.
Goddamn cinema.
The tugs are sliding to the left. They're sliding to the right. It's not working! Diesel fumes fill the air as the tugs keep increasing their power.
Hold!
The water violently foams behind the tugs. Everyone is staring at the back of that ship. Come on. Move. This goes on for minutes. More minutes. Even more minutes. An hour. 2. 4 hours. By 4:30 a.m., the moon's power is starting to wane, and there is very little progress. Don't give up. The tide only goes down so that we can rise once again. Your moon gambit has cost Egypt dearly, El Sayed. Guards, prepare the sarcophagus with the beetles like in the...
What the hell is that?
And the mummy?
Under the water, all of this tugging has loosened the sand, the soil, the rock. Could it be? The sound of metal tensing and flexing. The ship is beginning to move. It is coming free from the bank.
The supermoon gives one last howl.
Ooh! It worked. They pulled the ship from the bank. At the back, at least. Now, the bow is still wedged in there pretty good, but this is progress. We're halfway to freedom. Keep going.
Now you gotta pull backwards.
So they did, all morning.
I did
7:30
recently
a.m.
see like a video somewhere. I think it was on Reddit or something where basically some people dug a hole on a beach under sea level. Unfortunately, obviously a very idiotic thing to do. And then when the tide came in, they almost drowned because the sand immediately just held on to them.
The sun is rising. The tugs have been pulling all night. But the most difficult task,
the sand
freeing the
will
bow of the ship,
will
remains
massively
well, I guess
keep it held
even the
down.
moon has its limits.
I don't want to hear it, El Said. It wasn't enough. That bow is still stuck. No, Mr. President. They're not saying that the bow is still stuck. They're saying, take a bow. And then something else that rhymes with stuck. I gotta go. They were loading up the missiles for Plan B, as the guys on social media suggested. I lied about the crane thing. This was always the plan, says the Smith guys. You know what, Canterville? I agree. They should just blow us up. What? My career is over now, too. You're the guy who blocked the canal, and I'm the guy who couldn't get it cleared. We've brought instability to
Insert sad music here.
But enough, Canterville. I raised your hopes with moon-based promises. But look at the tide. It's low. Low tide. And yet, I am lower still. Canterville looks pensively out the window.
How poetic.
And it was at that moment that he had his character arc. He realized that he was the captain, and the captain is always in charge. Shut up, El Said. We shall continue, regardless of the tide. Is that not the Egyptian way?
It is.
Don't you remember the story, El Said? That every young Egyptian kid is told about the human pyramid? No. Where there's one guy at the bottom who gives up, and we all fall down? Heck, it ain't a triangle if you don't try. We need to be strong, together, like a pyramid. It's what Giza would have wanted. You're right, damn it. Thank you, Canterville. That's the most inspirational speech I've ever heard in my life. I'll never lose my faith again. And even though you're kind of the
even
worst
sure what he was saying,
I've
but
ever
okay.
seen, you're still the best friend.
And then they kissed.
So they pressed on all morning, enthusiastically and vigorously tugging away, beating off the fatigue, but to no purpose.
Excuse me?
Okay, everyone, take a break. Copy. We'll have lunch and pick up again in a couple of hours. Then suddenly, one of the Smith guys comes busting into the room. I've got an idea. Everybody turns and looks at the Smith guy. All right, well, sorry about the boring diagram, but take a look at this. Remember how we emptied the ballast tanks before? Yeah, of course. Well, now that the ship is half floating, what if we refilled the ones at the back? On this part of the diagram, where the ship is almost floating. That way, it will sink lower here and allow the bow to sit up even higher on the bank. Canterville gives El Said a knowing nod. I got this. I know a guy who owes me a favor.
Please, 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 please. A few hours later, the ballast tanks were filled. And it worked. The bow lifted ever so slightly. It's working, it's working. And it gets better.
The ruler
It's now
guy.
2 p.m., and that means high tide.
Guys, I've got another technical issue. All right, what is it? It's easier if I show you with a drone.
Oh,
let me try again. All right, you can see the ship is lodged at the front. The guys are pulling, but it ain't budging. However, a lot of force is building up here. And what if it were to break free? The sudden release could propel the ship straight across the water with a hell of a lot of momentum. It could span the entire canal and land on the opposite bank, only to run aground again.
Honestly,
Worse
that's
still,
actually kind of what
it
I was
could
thinking
pin
at first.
small tugs in its wake. Dangerous. To solve this problem, they did a bit of a safety briefing, and they got some rope. 4
That's
ropes,
where you gotta
actually,
pull it
tying the
backwards.
bow of the ship to somewhere on the land. The lines look great, guys. With the contingency in place, the tugs start up again. And about an hour later, at 3:05 p.m., movement.
The bow began to shift.
Okay, that's definitely moving. This is it. It's working. The ship made a big noise as it accelerated from the bank. And at first, excitement and relief.
The bow was coming free. But
oh my
Remember
god.
that concern about the overswing? Well, it's happening. Okay, the only source we found for this part of the story was Bloomberg, but they said that it happened and we wanted to build it. So this recreation is how we imagine it went. The 4 support ropes take strain. Then, snap. One of them breaks. Do you think it's going to hold? I think it's going to hold. Move those tugs out of the way.
snap. Another rope breaks.
Captain El Said. It's going to hold. Get your tug out of the way, but it's going to hold.
Hang on a second.
Snap. A third rope breaks.
Get out of the way! Get out of the way!
A single strand is the only thing holding this ship from swinging all the way to the other bank and being stuck forever.
Without even realizing, Canterville grabs El Said's hand and squeezes it tight.
It's gonna hold.
Squeeze me.
You're a madman, Canterville. Mad, passionate about this canal, and
Put him
I
on.
ain't afraid of nothing. He said
That's
very
right.
cold backer to Lee.
The engine
Trust me,
shut off.
these glasses
All
make
that
you
could be
badass.
heard is the squeak of tightening rope and the scream of torsioning metal.
Sacre bleu, said Abdullah.
But it
You
is
can't
slowing
see it,
down.
but there's actually glasses, sunglasses
to a
on
halt.
the rope as well.
The final rope held.
They really did it.
And the Ever Given rested easy in the middle of the canal.
Al Said turns to Canterville. Power up the engines. Let's get your ship moving again. I'm on it, says Canterville. All of the tugboats start honking their horns in celebration.
Cheers can be heard from the main dredger, the Mashour. In fact, they filmed this celebratory video. You heard them right, Mr. President. We did it. We did it.
It's free. I told you. All in a day's work.
And then they crashed right
The
into the
president
side
takes
again.
his finger off the nuke button. Pack it up, boys.
I can't believe it. All that digging really must have made a difference. Oh. Good. Everybody hated that crab. We did it, Gene. We did it.
No, we didn't.
Gene?
He was one of my
Where
favorite
are you?
characters.
Captain, who are you talking to? Gene!
Captain, there's no gene on board. Wait a minute. No.
Oh my
It's
god.
impossible. Gene, wait. Thank you. I'll always remember you, Canthaville.
And so the canal was clear once again, and chop chop. You still got work to do. By 8 p.m., the workday had not finished for the Suez Canal Authority. There's still a backlog of 400 ships waiting to go through the canal. So Rabbi stands in front of microphones and says, "The canal will be operating around the clock until the queue is cleared." And within a few days, it returned to normal. It was a big accomplishment. Many industry experts thought it would take several months to free the Ever Given, but the crisis was resolved within a mere week. Prepare the sarcophagus
Not
for
bad.
the doubters. Even Egypt's president
I
came
hate
out
that
and
scene
said,
from The Mummy.
Good job, everybody. You know what? Pizza lunch.
And the Suez Canal Authority held a ceremony in honor of the workers who helped to free the ship. And they also made this monument, which you can see on Google Maps.
Act 3. Free.
But the story doesn't end here. A quick note on the helmsman's penis.
Oh.
Now you, me, and everyone in the press
You didn't need to say it
saw
like that.
VDR data.
Fragwürdigen Penismanöver genutzt.
But despite
The
how
penis maneuver,
realistic
yes.
and to scale it was not deliberate. Yes, sheer coincidence. If you watch the
Really?
VDR data, he really is just dodging the ships, and that's the shape that the path took. So he didn't get in any trouble. The end.
God damn
Alright,
it.
I suppose one more smaller detail. Now that the Ever Given is free, what's going to happen to it? And what's going to happen to the crew? Well, the Ever Given was tugged over to Great Bitter Lake, where they determined that the ship was seaworthy and not in any urgent need of repair. But it's also going to be impounded. Oh no. Hey, there's, police boats outside. Why? What did you do? This ship and its crew is now subject to the indefinite detention by the authority of the Egyptian government. Until you pay us, the Ever Given may not leave, says the Suez Canal Authority.
Well, obviously. They would have to investigate and
Yes, we will be
pay for
holding
damages.
on to the Ever Given. It's our view that there was no wrongdoing on the part of the Suez Canal Authority or its two pilots, and it was all the crew of the Ever Given, so their ship will be held until the parent company agrees to rightfully pay us for all of the costs incurred. Ruh-roh. Now here's where things get very complicated, and there is a lot of legal mumbo-jumbo. But the crux is this. The Suez Canal Authority says, "Dear Ever Given owners, you owe us $900 million. And Shoei Kisen Kaisha says, "No way. How many yen is that? No way." So by
I don't
April
think they
13th,
would be
some
able
of the
to be
crew is
honest.
allowed to leave, but a lot of them have to stay. And
Because,
there's a
I'm
certain-
pretty sure there's, all kinds of surveillance on big, massive ships. And they would probably be able to tell that the pilots were arguing and bickering, so that would probably maybe not... I mean, that would probably maybe help them in their legal case.
Nervousness in the air. Large legal battles can go on for a while, and there was already a bad example of this just a few dozen kilometers away. The MV Aman.
The ghost ship.
The MV Aman is a much smaller vessel, and it has been abandoned for years, detained by the Egyptian government in 2017 for expired safety equipment. Now, they were told to replace the equipment and pay a fine. However, there was no one to replace the safety equipment or to pay the fine because the shipping company went broke.
$900 dues.
So they just abandoned the vessel. There was no way for the legal situation to advance, and that meant that there was no way for the ship to be released.
Most of the crew had to stay on the ship, and they would keep them there for more than a little while. 13 months. Before a judge
Jesus.
finally decided, all right, look, just leave the keys with one guy. We'll call him the custodian, and everybody else can go home. Now, that custodian was a Syrian man named Muhammad Aisha. Look, he's holding the keys. He's holding the keys.
I mean, he
You
must have
to
gotten
stay on the
paid for
ship
that,
now.
right?
Everybody else got to leave, but he had to stay. On top of the 13 months he'd already been there, he spent
Somehow
the
I
next
feel like this is
3 years aboard the ship.
Jesus Christ. Somehow I feel like this would have to be a volunteer situation.
The ship ran out of fuel, which meant it ran out of power, which meant it ran out of running water. No refrigeration either. Food ran out. Every few days, Mr. Aisha would be allowed to swim onto the shore to get food, water, charge his phone, but he was only permitted for about 2 hours until they would tell him to scoot.
Would this be the same fate for the Ever Given crew? They did not know. But we do, so let me tell you.
A few more weeks passed, and the negotiations continued.
You guys had those 2 bickering pilots. Yeah, but the captain's always in charge.
Sorry, who didn't arrange for tugboats while we were going through the canal? Oh, that was you guys. I'm gonna put 20,000 containers on one of the largest ships in the world and go double the speed limit, then complain about tugboat.
Yeah, but you told us to go that speed, so it's your fault. I feel like this is basically what actually happens in court, except not spoken like this.
But eventually, they all got together in a big room, and they went, I'm sorry about all those things I said and those emails I sent. I didn't mean it.
But I'm not going to give you $900 million.
They embraced. They made amends. They made love. And they agreed, all right, you can keep using the canal, but sometimes we get to go fishing on the boat. That's fair. That's tough, but that's fair. They shook on it. It was an Egyptian handshake. They do the thing with the elbow. There was a mummy.
Right, of course, as you do.
This story sucks. By September, the crew was allowed to return home. They only got MV Amand a little bit. And that guy on the MV Amand, he got to go home too.
Yay!
Why not? Get out of here, you scamp. The Ever Given made its delivery to Rotterdam. They did it! All the cargo is here. Although, it wouldn't hurt to check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Canterville continued his career in shipping. It wasn't the end. Maybe just one more for the road? It's a great time to be a cargo ship captain. I can tell you that much.
The fact that it happened on accident
Al
is
Said returned
just
the
brilliant.
Lunexicon back to the Sphinx. Thank you, old friend.
And so the
And
prophecy
Ever Given
came
had
true.
some minor repairs done to the bow over in Qingdao Port in China. And then she was ready to set sail again.
Once again, I feel
The
like they
Ever
should
Given was released
make the
back into
canal
wild.
wider if they can.
It sailed into the sunset. Ever since then, global trade has improved. Prices have gone down. The economy flourished once again. Food returned to the supermarkets. Mothers clutched their babes. A litter
okay.
of puppies. And peace was finally restored to the Middle East.
Oh my God.
Forever. The end.
Thanks again to
I'm not clapping
Salee,
with my
the
hands.
easy way to get data on your phone when you're overseas. And 15% off? Now that's a good deal.
All right. That was internet historian Ever Given, Ever Taketh Away. Honestly, great video. check it out. I am actually going to go to the bathroom real quick, so I will be right back. Alright, we have returned. Let me just, hang on. Let me just get our next video up and running. That was once again a very good video. Internet historian videos are always really good. Quite long, actually. I feel like it didn't need to be that long, actually. But, like he said in the video, I guess he really feels like they need to be long. Alright. We have, next up we have a video that I've kind of had on my list for a while by Sydney Watson. I watch her videos quite a lot. She has very good videos, often talking about all kinds of political stuff, and you know, one of the few channels that I actually kind of watch to keep track of what's actually going on in the world. This is Why Won't Men Approach Me? I guess we'll see. Hang on. Also, let me just turn off my air conditioner. I was taking a little air conditioning break. Alright.
Tell me why every day I go out.
Holy. Holy breasts. I mean, nice sunglasses you have there.
Looking adorable. And yet nobody ever hits on me or approaches me.
They're actually undercover police officers taking to the streets in Surrey as part of a new operation trying to stop people catcalling and harassing.
Seriously?
Seriously, what?
That's what I said. Wait, seriously?
They're actually undercover police officers taking to the streets in Surrey as part of a new operation trying to stop people catcalling and harassing female.
It's gotta be fake, right? I mean, it's on TikTok. Of course it has to be fake, right? There's no shot that they're doing this.
Runners.
Seriously, what are we doing?
There's no shot. It's gotta
Hi,
be
my name is
fake.
Sydney. Welcome back to hell. And as per usual, before we launch in, today's video is sponsored by American Financing.
Oh my
and
God, it is.
also, very important, I am going on tour in October around the United States.
Oh my
9
God, she
shows
is.
in different cities. You should go buy tickets at the link in the description. Come see me live. It's going to be a little bit more personal.
Don't know
than
how
I do
old this
on
video
channel,
is
but
actually,
still a lot of
so
fun, and it'll be really cool to meet a bunch of you.
2
There
weeks
are
ago.
VIP tickets available.
Might be too
They're
late.
a little bit more personal. We get
Don't
to
know.
kind of hang out before the show. There are general admission tickets. There are meet and greet tickets. There will be specific tour merch that is pretty cool that I've been working on. So if I am in your city, come and see me. Buy some tickets. Bring your friends. Bring your mom. Bring your dad or whoever. I promise it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to meeting all of you. Okay, let's.
I wonder what, and this is no shade to anybody or anything, especially not to Miss Sydney here, but what do content creators actually do on quote-unquote tours? Like, you know, when a band or something goes on tour, I obviously assume they play music. What do content creators do? I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, maybe just answer some questions. Like, a meet and greet, I get. But, like, a tour? Like, a tour of meet and greets or something?
Do the video.
Don't know.
Now, I am positive that some of you saw this, but a couple weeks ago, 2 videos went viral on our favorite demented platform, Twitter. I am never going to call
great.
it X. You can't make
Same.
me. Basically,
I never have and never will.
Cute ladies who were lamenting that menfolk don't approach them when they're out in the world, despite dressing and acting cute and sexy to attract said menfolk. One woman had seemingly just had a night out when you would think that the lads would probably try to hit on you.
I better pay attention to me tonight. I'm so fucking sick of this shit. Oh my god. Touch a boob, buy a drink. I mean, it's like very fucking simple.
Whereas the other woman was out on a run, which is...
That one I would say, if you're, okay, assuming these 2, maybe even 3, because someone's holding the camera, right? If they're talking about, oh, why won't anyone approach me, blah, 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 like, it is one, I'm not, first off, I'm not one to approach anyone, right? I don't really care about, you know, dating or anything like that, so, you know, take everything I say with a grain of salt, but, if as a guy, I will tell you that if there's like 3 women, let's say at a bar, there's 3 women hanging out, like friends, right? in my opinion, it would be way more difficult to approach them. Because, well, there's a couple of reasons, right? One, like, just think about it for a second, right? What happens when you're hanging out with your friends and then someone comes up to your friend group and then tries to be genuine and tries to maybe start a conversation with one of you, whether it's you or your friends, right? What do you think happens? The group will try to make the situation into a joke or something funny, or, you know, kind of like how friends do, right? They banter about whatever is happening. So most likely, if a guy went up to them, they would be shit on. Like, when it comes to, like, the social situation. Potentially, if they're kind-hearted people, they might allow it. They might even entertain the idea. They might entertain the guy, you know, so on and so forth. But ultimately, if you're obviously approaching with the intention of getting one of the girl's numbers, it's kind of like, most likely the friend group will tear you to shreds. They will laugh at you. They'll be like, "Can you believe this guy?" Right? Not gonna happen. It's so much, and that's why most guys, you know, I would say, won't approach, because they know that if there's more than one woman, then they're more like twice, 3 times as likely to get rejected.
I mean, it's like very fucking simple.
Whereas the other woman was out on a run, which is maybe a less
Because it's like, it's one of those situations where if you're with somebody, you're less approachable, because you're already in a conversation with somebody. You're already, you know, you're already hanging out with someone. So it's hard to approach you with the intention of joining you for your time.
Environment. This is 100% how men get sprayed in the face with bear mace.
Hey, I need you to spray me in the face with pepper spray for a bit.
Bruh.
You need to think of a better bit.
True based.
Rude. Tell me why every day I go out looking adorable, tits bouncing, skin glistening, and yet nobody ever hits on me or approaches me. Ever. Oh my god, like, please. I'll take a fucking construction worker catcall at this point.
Construction worker, she says. Brother, like, this is this woman doesn't know what she is asking for. Most likely, these catcallers that she refers to are not construction workers. What she has in her head is the image of, you know, you walking past, like a woman walking past some sort of like gated area, and then behind the gate there's like these construction workers working on a building or something, and they're all like ripped and like wearing hard hats, and then they're behind the gate and they go like, "Hey, you know, like, looking good," right? And, you know, the woman keeps walking or whatever. That's what she's thinking of, most likely. In reality, what she would get, what she is asking for, is not that. What she will get is a homeless person going, "Hey, hey, pretty lady, you want to join me and I'll show you a good time?" That's what she will get. Right? That's what she is asking for. Ultimately, like, I don't think she knows what she's asking for. You're not going to get some sort of construction worker. That's the best case scenario. The more normal scenario is some sort of homeless man who wants to, you know, proposition you for sex.
Please. Anyway, both clips attracted a ton of commentary and attention, and the commentary that was being expressed.
And then when it happens, when it finally does happen, someone approaches her to catcall her, she'll be like, ew, no, because it's a fucking homeless person, right?
Went in a couple different directions. The first and most obvious one was men saying that this is really the result of women for years telling them not to approach women, not to approach them. Then there were the women who were saying,
Okay.
yes, we do want to be approached.
Catcalling and approaching, completely different things.
And it is up to the men to do the approaching, and we wish you guys would do it more. And then there were
I actually believe that women should
like,
approach.
I want to be left alone. Forever. Personally, I was left feeling a little bit demoralized by all of this and a bit disappointed in the gender wars and how bad men and women are at interacting with one another. But on its own, with only these two clips as illustrating points, I really didn't feel like getting into this topic and then trying to make a whole video out of it because I wasn't really sure that there was all that much to say. But in my travels of the internet, I have come across two videos that also went viral recently that relate to the first two clips that I showed you. And now I have some things to say. In these viral videos, Surrey Police
This gotta
Department
be
in
fake.
England had female officers go undercover as joggers to elicit catcalls. So they were doing all of this on purpose. And then they...
This has to be fake. Or if it's not fake, it has to be... Because why else would they say it, right? What I think this is actually... I think this is a deterrent, most likely what they're trying. They film this video, publish it to the public. Like, why would they do that? To tell people that, hey, there are undercover police officers doing this, you know, supposedly, so don't catcall. That's basically what they're saying. I don't think there are actually police officers undercover. They most likely just filmed this to release it to the public and then tell public, you know, people that you shouldn't do it. You know, because I mean, I really doubt that they would actually waste police officer time on this.
Use this
I don't
as
think
pretext to either
that
talk to the
if they do, they are I'm sorry, but they are incredibly retarded.
and folk about this inappropriate behavior or arrest them for harassment.
We get honked at, the staring, the hanging out of the window just to look at us, and it just...
Okay.
It's so prevalent.
And police teams
Yeah.
are ready to intervene the moment the officers are beeped at, followed, or shouted at.
Intervene to do what? For looking?
Those kind of behaviours may not be criminal offences in themselves.
Yes.
But they still need to be addressed.
Not by the police. You're supposed to fucking... You know, I like to say this one thing. I've started saying this recently. But these days, there's two types of people in the world these days. Normal people and fucking retards.
And of course, the people that are likely to commit those kind of behaviours, you know, they may then go on to commit more serious offences or more serious behaviours.
May being the key word here. Yeah, a person who might play a violent video game may go and shoot up a school as well. Yes, may. A person who doesn't show any bad behaviors may also rob a bank. Everyone may do something.
According to the Telegraph, Surrey police made 18 arrests for offences like sexual assault and harassment that seemingly have come about as the result of this.
For people to recognise that it's not right, it's not just a small act, it's a...
Yes, it is. It 100% is.
Thing that...
I'm sorry to tell you, but like, catcalling and rape, not even close to similar. Like, what are we talking about?
Really quite uncomfortable. So I think it's important. Sorry.
Yeah, it's called the real world. What are you, 12 years old?
Taking it so serious. It's one of our force priorities.
That's a priority for the police force over there? Bruh.
And for me, that makes me feel proud to work for Surrey Police, because for me, it's...
Oh my God. Holy... Who allowed them to put this out?
Such a personal experience.
How fucking stupid are they?
a lot of other, if not all other women who experience it. So I feel empowered to be a part of such an operation.
How about you feel empowered to be a part of an operation that stops, I don't know, criminals, actual criminals?
So when I saw these videos, and by the way, I think that this original campaign was posted about a month ago and only recently started going viral, so do with that information what you will. But like many people, I have some feelings about this, and I wanted to take the opportunity to express them. This is good timing because actually a bunch of people in the UK have been hitting me up recently being like, Sydney, will you please talk about the weirdness and the terribleness that's going on in our country? And the answer to that
I wonder
is
what's
yes,
going on in
yes,
their
I
country.
Will, Simon. But unfortunately,
I
we're
don't.
starting here.
I
Let's start
actively
with this
try not
sorry
to
police honeypot operation. And I think
jump
I speak
into
for
any
all of us when I say that
dumb
I'm
fuck
not so
retardation.
interested in honeypot operations, but I am interested in dealing with lovely mortgage lenders, which is why today's video is
Oh,
sponsored
God,
by
Ad.
American Financing. Now, according to my viewer metrics, a lot of you, like me, did the irresponsible thing of growing up and acquiring adult responsibilities. And one of those responsibilities is trying to manage your finances. This can be a
True.
stressful, high anxiety thing for anyone to do. And in today's economy, the prospect makes me want to squeeze my Mr. Snuggle Bear real tight. But fear not,
Oh my God, it does.
lovely viewers, because American Financing is riding to your aid like a knight that's really good at financial stuff. American Financing is a family-owned mortgage lender that won't just help you get the loan that you need to buy a house, they're also magicians that will help you manage high-interest debt. And what's more, you can actually trust American Financing because their consultants are salary-based, so they have no incentive to bait you into a loan that only helps themselves. It is all tailored to your needs. And I mean, they don't even have any hidden or upfront fees. And just look at all these awards. What even is this place? And best of all, customers report an average saving of $800 a month with American Financing, who at this point have helped hundreds
Supposedly.
of thousands of homeowners. So you know that they're
Supposedly.
like really good at this. So if
Supposedly.
you're like me, a fellow home buying human being, and you're ready to give up
I'm
on
not.
Mr. Snuggle Bear, then call American Financing today on 888-841-1319.
I have my Mr. Snuggle
That's
Bear. It's called my body pillow.
1319. Or of course, click the link in the description or go to americanfinancing.net/Sydney. The stated goal from these cops in their own press release is to make women feel safer in public spaces and demonstrate to men that creepy, threatening behavior is a no-go. And that's honestly something that I just overall support. I don't think that either sex should feel uncomfortable.
I mean, sure, but like she's saying right now, it's about both sexes. It's not just about one. Like, it's not like, I mean, it's not like guys don't get attacked as well, you know? And sure, like, catcalling is, like, uncomfortable to women in many cases. Not in all cases, apparently, but it's like, yeah, but, like, just because you're getting catcalled doesn't mean that you're gonna get, like, assaulted. And if we're talking about being assaulted, then guys are just as likely to get assaulted. Well, maybe not like, not sexually, but like still, you know? So it's like, you would think you would want to make the public places safer for everybody, not just for one group of people. This goes for fucking racism as well. It's like everyone's like, oh, safe spaces for black people, safe spaces for Asians. It's like, yeah, or we just make every place safe for everybody. Am I the crazy person here?
Comfortable out in the world. And as far as catcalling goes, for years there have actually been many initiatives to stop it. And I can absolutely see both sides of the aisle here. I know the vast majority of men probably can't relate to this because I am quite certain that it doesn't really happen to you very regularly, but catcalling is annoying at best and downright actually threatening at worst. I have known
I would imagine
women
so.
and had friends who have had disgusting, vile things shouted at them from vehicles. I've known women who have been followed home or followed followed for blocks by creepy men, and just made to feel generally unsafe out in life. In my personal experience,
I would
have
imagine that
very
happens
distinct
indeed.
memories of having this group of friends that I would hang out with, and sometimes after school when we were sort of between 13 through 16, we would walk to the shops from school, from high school, and we would get catcalled all the time. And I remember then thinking, this is creepy. I was a young teenage girl in my school uniform, for goodness sake. Actually, no, that one checks. I mean, you know, considering what the most popular adult content is on the internet. So,
I'm not
seriously,
sure
though, talk to
which
the
one
women
it
in your
is,
life and
actually.
You will realize just how many of them were catcalled as teenagers, and not even when they're, you know, 16, 17, 18. I mean like 12, 13. When you're a potato, you know. So
Then again, yeah, sure, I fully can see it because, dude, these days, have you seen fucking 13-year-olds these days? Bruh, there are entire games made where you have to choose whether you're shown a picture and then you have to choose if they're like 20 plus something or 13. And it's very difficult.
Information what you will. I also think with catcalling, there is a huge difference between simply telling a woman that she's beautiful or attractive and then leaving her alone and doing things like this.
Well, what do they usually say to you?
Oh my god, what do they not say?
Carpet match the curtains. Your fries come with that shade.
I'll straight up fuck you.
Anyway.
I don't think those are real, actually. I mean, not that they don't happen. I'm sure they are real and they have. People have said that. But when I say real, I mean, like, I don't think the guys that say that are actually saying that seriously. Most likely, they are with their buddies and they see like a woman pass by and they it's the exact same thing that happens when you're playing like a, you know, you hear people playing fucking, I don't know, Counter-Strike or something, right? And they're all in voice chat and then a girl joins, right? It's the exact same thing that happens there, where guys will actively be an asshole to the girl and make them uncomfortable and like quote unquote catcall them like that to be funny to the other guys, essentially. I don't like no one who is saying those things is saying them because they want to actually get the woman or get into the pants of the woman. You know, they are saying it because their guy friends are sitting right next to them and they think it's funny. Like, that's the only explanation I can come up with. And I'm quite sure that's the case. Because otherwise, I don't know. They're just extremely fucking stupid.
So all of those creepy, uncomfortable experiences really do stick with you. And that's, I guess, why I can understand why some women are looking at the Sorry Police initiative and thinking, this is good. This is a step in the right direction when it comes to making public spaces safer for women. But when I think about this a little bit deeper, when I really dig into it, I think that this is a little bit more nuanced than that. I don't see this issue as terribly black and white. I think that there are certainly shades of gray. And I think this is where it ties back to those original clips that I showed you at the very beginning of this video. Like I said, Sorry Police are essentially carrying out a sort of honeypot operation, setting up a scenario to bait men into behavior that's then punished. Men are already nervous about approaching women, I think. They second guess their moves, they're worried about being misread. Now add the fear of a literal sting operation. Imagine a guy working up the courage to tell some cute woman passing by that she looks beautiful, and then the next thing he knows he's got a cop in his face telling him he said some no-no words. And I'm not super sure that initiatives like this are capable of making the distinction between something that is innocuous and genuinely complimentary and someone being an actual risk. And they couldn't possibly, because, let's be real, you don't know the intention of the person doing the catcalling until they're either walking away from you, asking for your phone number, or trying to drag you into their van. And because of this unfortunate reality, these initiatives basically risk casting a uniform net over any man who approaches any woman in any context, and I think that's really sad. Again, I don't think a ton of men can relate to this, thankfully for you guys, but, you know, as a woman and for a lot of women, I think that in this context, we do kind of have to assume that any man approaching us is a threat until proven otherwise. And that's not based around, you know, like a man-hating thing.
True.
It's rather just that as the weaker sex, you do have to be careful about who is around you and who's in your surroundings. And that's why a lot of women go for runs with weapons or with pepper spray, or, you know, they let people know where they're going, because there's a lot of women who do go out on runs who don't come back. But for men, and I think this is also really sad, this feeds into the exact fear that is stopping men from approaching women in the first place. And it's a fear that is feeding into the things that the women in the initial clips were lamenting.
So I vote that we take all of the creepy men and we put them into the arena. And there they
Agreed.
will fight to entertain the masses with their very lives.
Agreed.
Whoa, I don't know where that came from. Then there's also
Sydney
this
Watson for
massive
president,
issue
ladies and
here,
gentlemen.
which is policing
I would
priorities.
vote
The UK
for her.
wants to allot resources to catcall stings, but actively ignores actually serious crimes. Judges in the country routinely let fans of the playground walk free for some absolutely...
Child sex offenders and burglars spared jail despite dozens of previous convictions? What the fuck?
Reason. Harassment, SA, and the like, particularly when it involves foreign nationals or when it revolves around grooming gangs, which are well documented, literally gets less attention.
The heck is a
Take the
grooming gang?
gang scandals in places like Rotherham or Telford, for example. Thousands of girls and women were victimized, and the authorities dragged their feet for years on this, too afraid of being accused of racism. And when they did finally act, it was absolutely too little, too late. Even now, people continue to act like this isn't a huge, pervasive issue.
Yet we've got police jogging around to catch a whistle. Are you serious?
So it's really not all that hard to see this as a massive misallocation.
Well, I'm sure there's more
Unpleasant,
red
icky
tape everywhere,
catcalling
but
absolutely sucks, but it is nowhere near on the same level of systemic abuse. So the question becomes, why focus on this seemingly low-hanging fruit when there are much bigger fruits to be picked? This disconnect
well, I think
absolutely
it's because it's basically a war on many fronts when it comes to, you know, police. The police. What's the word? ESL, by the way. It's them like. Fuck. How am I not thinking of the right word? I guess they're marketing. You know, like they have to show that they're doing something. I mean, obviously, there's no excuse for allowing child grooming gangs to stay afloat, but still, you know, I guess they probably think that they can get back some public goodwill from this.
But you have good men, and I think that's an important distinction, good men, because good men don't act like pigs, who are feeling fearful and targeted, and then you have women who are also feeling fearful and unheard. Meanwhile, the absolute schmoes who deserve to be in prison are slipping through the cracks.
It's like we're fighting over all these gender war scraps while all these absolute psychopaths walk around unencumbered.
And I don't like it, Simon.
Sounds
I don't
about
like
right.
it at all. So to the broader point of men not approaching women who want to be approached, I think what we are currently seeing from modern society is pretty bad right now, and I think it is negatively affecting both men and women. I think a lot of men, by their nature, are pursuit hunters. So back when we were taking down prey with nothing but pointy sticks and a dream, men would pursue prey for miles until it got too tired to resist and served itself up for din-din. So, and not to use like kind of a weird example, but I think men sort of pursue women in a similar fashion by nature. They see a woman that they like, an antelope, a gazelle, if you will, and then they will continue to woo and court her until she sees him as a competent and compatible mate, where she will then serve herself up for din-din.
I mean, if you get rid of all our social, all the social stuff and conversation stuff, then I guess, but there's a lot more to it than that, I think.
The thing is, and obviously I can't speak for all women, we are by no means a monolith, we don't all think the same or feel the same, but I do think that a large portion of women do like to be pursued and like to see men doing the pursuing, because it probably indicates that there is a level of deeper connection and desire that men have that will see women cared for and protected,
I
really,
mean, that's
for
true.
the rest of our lives. And
I just thought of something. Hang on. I have an idea. Hang on a second. Hang on. Let me show. I'm gonna show you guys what I think is going on. I'm just gonna bring this up real quick. Okay. So let me show you guys what's going on, at least in my opinion. Okay. The question is, why are we getting mixed messages? Why are men and women getting mixed messages? Right? So let me create a little graph for you. Not graph, but like a little illustration. Okay, so first off, this will be the internet. Okay? Now, this is where all the information comes out of. This and this okay? Left wing, right wing, right? Now, what is actually happening? You have these are these lines, these are pipelines. These are pipelines of information. Okay? Now, what feeds into this pipeline? You have let's say something like so. Okay? And the same thing goes on this side. Okay? Now, these lines, these information pipelines, right, feed into the main pipeline that feeds into the internet as left wing or right wing. Now, these circles represent groups, different groups. So, let's say in this group, right, in this group here, are women who, let's say, like to be approached, right? This group, this is A. Women who like to be approached, right? Then you have B. Women who do not like to be approached, right? Now, as A's information goes into the pipeline and goes into the internet, right? This is where everyone who's quote-unquote right-wing or, you know, basically on the internet, they will see that information as, oh, women like to be approached. Okay, that's cool. Right? But then at the same time, B's information, women who do not like to be approached, goes into the pipeline. And then also goes into the internet. What happens? The people who are on the right wing or anywhere else, they will see from the internet that, oh, wait, women don't like to be approached? Huh? But didn't they just say that women like to be approached? But now they're saying that they don't like to be approached? Huh? Right? And this is what's happening. Essentially, different groups on the same side, quote unquote, same side, are giving different opinions as to what should be the norm. Right? And so all of these things go into the pipeline, right? All of these things go into the pipeline and feed into the internet. The problem, and of course the same thing happens on this side as well. Like, for instance, you know, a man or multiple men say that, I don't know, like, I'm trying to come up with an example here. Like, let's say you have a normal group of men saying that, oh, you know, they like women, they treat women nice. And then you have the Andrew Tate group, right, that says, oh, all women should be subservient, right? And they should be submissive and breedable and get in the kitchen and make me a sandwich type, right? And that information comes in. All the women on the left side here see, oh, all men are pigs, right? But then you have the other group saying, no, 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 no. We want to be equal with women. We want to treat them well. All we want is kindness, right? And you have all these different groups giving their own opinions, but it all comes from the one pipeline here, right? And the main problem with these right wings and left wings is that there's no gatekeeping, right? There's nothing that, like, goes through all these opinions and says, hey, what is our collective opinion of the right wing or or the left wing? There is none, right? It's just open. It's just completely open. Anyone can just say whatever the fuck they want. So it's like, if like a small group, right? Like a super small group of people come out and say, hey, we hate all men and all men should die from the left wing, then all of a sudden right-wing people or centralist or whatever people, whoever others there are, they will see that, oh, left-wing people want all men to die. But it's not all left-wing people that want people to die or men to die. It's just a small little group under the massive umbrella that is all left-wing. Same thing with the right wing. That's why this whole left-wing and the right-wing bullshit is just that, bullshit. And that's what I think is happening. You have one group of women saying, we like men approaching us. It makes us feel good. It makes us feel desired, blah, blah. And then you have the other group that doesn't want men approaching them, giving, opposite information. And then everything feeds into the internet where people get their information from. That's what I think is happening, basically. Let's just get back to it.
And I think that's really noble and really honorable and really nice. And you guys are welcome to disagree with me as much as you like, but I do think that a lot of this is innate. I do think it's inbuilt. And, as much as we have had, probably a good couple decades of programming trying to disrupt, biological conventions, I don't think that we're going to get around some of these components because, like I said...
I think I disagree with her on this. I don't think it's biological. I think most people think that it's like instinct or biology or something, when it's really not. It's basically just boredom. Because back in the day, we didn't have as much entertainment as we do now. And that's why people wanted to have children, because they had nothing better to do. Right? But now they do have a lot of better things to do. That's why they don't want children anymore, because children have always been kind of annoying to take care of.
I think they're inbuilt. And this is probably why you see women who are very upset that no man will approach them when they're out on the town or when they're out on their run, displaying their jiggle physics.
I mean, there's some good jiggle physics.
Really good take. Men pursuing women isn't a bad thing. It's literally step one of the propagation of our species.
I really think that women should approach men instead. Because ultimately they're the ones to, most of the time, make the decision, the final decision.
A serious issue by making a very natural occurrence that benefits both parties a punishable act. There's no nuance here. All pursuit is bad pursuit. Decent men not approaching women these days is not really born out of some random caution. I think there are myriad reasons why men stay away. For one, the social climate in recent years has changed drastically. In the past, a man could go up to a woman.
The reason is, once again, like I just said, better things to do. Ultimately, and I've said this before, but the likelihood of succeeding for a man when they ask a woman out is, or approach a woman, is 5, maybe max 10%. Okay, you can at most, if you don't take care of it, if you do not take care of yourself, it is 0%. Okay, 0% success chance. Ultimately, you can get it up to around maybe 10% if you take care of yourself and you act decently, and they're single, obviously, and available and willing. But ultimately, it's max 10%, right? At least from my own, from what I've seen. So it's like you already have a max success rate of 10%. That's it. And like a lot of guys just are like, I don't want to go through, I don't want to do something that I know I'll most likely fail. No one wants to do that.
And at a bar or somewhere out in public and strike up a conversation.
And then they think to themselves, why put myself through that for a 90% chance to fail if I can just go home and play some video games on their PC,
and not be sweating bullets. Now, from what I understand, a lot of guys feel like every single move that they make is under a microscope. The Me Too movement, for all of its faults, did expose some credible predators, but one of its fallouts was leaving men with a lingering fear that innocent actions will be misread or misinterpreted. Secondly, today it doesn't help that everything is documented 100% of the time. A single awkward interaction could end up on Twitter or TikTok, like we've seen with all of these gym videos where women make a glance or a normal interaction seem creepy and predatory when it really isn't. And social media doesn't just judge, it broadcasts to millions of people who are only getting a sliver of the actual story, but turning into raging lunatics over it anyway. This video was probably gonna end here, but then I thought of more things that I wanted to add, so I am recording on a different day, although I have tried to make myself look the same for continuity purposes.
I didn't even notice.
It's not the same. It's a different day.
Sorry.
So I just wanted
I'm
to
sorry.
acknowledge that in case anyone
I did not
why
notice.
does she suddenly look different?
I would be a horrible
Because
partner.
I'm a different person today. The irony
I would
for
not-
me is
I
that
would
don't
not
like
ever
how my
notice
hair
anything.
or makeup looks in this video, but I had to do the same thing for continuity purposes. So yeah,
I don't pay
back
attention
to the topic.
to
the issue
how
here
people
too
look
is that
necessarily.
There's really no way of knowing which
Like
women
the
are
details, I
open
mean.
to advances and which women are going to feel threatened. And when it comes to this issue, I actually really empathize with decent normal men. They're damned if they do, damned if they don't. They might approach a woman and she might think that they're being a creep, or they might ignore a woman and then she feels invisible. But from the woman's vantage point, and the thing that often gets lost in this conversation when it comes to this specific criticism, is that I would argue the majority of women have been threatened at one point or another in their life. So this unfortunate and sad sense of unease that a lot of women feel and experience definitely makes sense. When I first started making videos, I probably would have had a different series of thoughts and commentary about this, but I think the older that I get, the more that I realize there is unfortunately a portion of men who ignore boundaries and do approach women with this entitled aggressive behavior.
It's
that
called
in turn
retards,
ruins everything
unfortunately.
for the
It is what it
normal
is.
guys who just want to ask a woman on a date or tell her that she's pretty. And it also ruins it for the women who
I
want
mean,
to make that.
She says that, but that's the thing, right? Like a guy coming up to a random woman and saying that she's pretty is not a normal thing to do, by the way. Right? Like some very few women, I feel like, would take that as just a lighthearted, genuine compliment. If a guy comes up to a woman and says, "Hey, I think you're pretty," or "Hey, I just wanted to approach you and say that I think you're really pretty," it's like that's immediately putting the woman on the defensive. Immediately.
Nice normal guy who wants to be protective and caring and loving.
If you want to approach somebody, and this goes for women as well, right? If you want to approach somebody, do it because of a reason, right? Even if you don't actually have a reason, think of a reason. Some sort of common thing that you both are doing, or, I don't know, just any reason that you have to approach this person that's good, right? That's friendly, that's basically the idea is that you're not you're making them understand that you're not approaching them to get with them, if that makes sense, right? You don't want them to think that you're approaching them because you are pursuing them. So come up with some sort of reason to approach them and then show that you're friendly. Maybe try to make her laugh with a quick joke or something pertaining to the topic that you approached her with, basically. And then finally, maybe, make it seem like you just thought of it on the spot, and then maybe ask her out or something. I don't know. Point is, do not cold approach them with a compliment. That's a huge no-no.
Group of creepy, terrible people is ruining it for everybody else. Oh, that's basically how it is with every issue. Wow. So I have also thought
Sounds
a lot
about right.
about how we deal with this issue without resorting to police officers basically baiting men on the street. And one of the
Women
things
have to
I've landed
approach.
on is good, strong men policing terrible men. But even that is basically borderline impossible to do these days, because when good protective men do step in, they're the ones who often get arrested. This will never not be frustrating to me. This very recently happened on a train in London, where a man exposed himself to passengers and then a bunch of Englishmen took him down, and they were the ones who were arrested. The same goes for Daniel Penny here in the United States.
If they assaulted him, then yes, I can see it, because ultimately, just because you do not take you do not do vigilante justice, okay? You just don't follow the fucking law.
For those who don't know,
You're
Penny,
fine.
who is a former Marine, basically intervened on a New York subway train car when a man was threatening other passengers. Penny restrained the man, who passed away, not from the restraining, just to be clear, but for other reasons that I'm actually not sure of off the top of my head. Anyway, instead of being hailed a hero, Penny instead faced very serious legal consequences and public backlash. And when I say legal consequences, I mean, he was like looking.
Was the guy black? I wonder why, right? Wasn't there literally recently a fucking, well, I say recently, but a little bit ago, a thing where like a black kid just full on murdered a white kid in some like school track meet or something, and then like a bunch of people just raised money for the murderer, like $500,000.
Looking at a sentence.
Like that happened. Like what?
That could have put him in prison for a very long time. Personally, I think it's pretty screwed up that socially men who act appropriately are punished for their good intentions, and we aren't even meaningfully addressing the terrible ones here. Punishing men who actually have good intentions to help women, obviously, but other people too, isn't actually helping women if the only people not being punished are the ones who need to be punished. It's so annoying because all of this basically amounts to virtue signaling at the expense of women, but not actually doing anything to help us. So yeah, whoever designed this current system at play, whoever pushed for it, has successfully made it so that men don't want to approach women, which is making women feel unwanted and lonely and honestly not super protected. Again, socially, we are punishing good men's protective natures, which
I think we're going towards a direction of women beginning to ask more men out. I really do think that's where we're headed. That's the only like logical direction that I can see where we can go after all this shit. Because more and more men, quote unquote, pull out, because it's just too big of a risk. Not only are you most likely getting rejected, even if you don't get in trouble of any kind, you're most likely still getting rejected, right? So it's like a kind of a double whammy. Like, are you, like before it was like, okay, well, let's say, you know, a guy really wants a girlfriend or something, and they take the, you know, 5-10% chance of success, and they go out and they try, right? The only downside would be getting rejected. Okay. But now there's the added risk of, oh, something could go wrong and I could end up fucking, you know, worst case scenario, going to prison for something. You know, it's like, or even killed, however way, you know, whichever way. Who knows? Point is that now it's just too big of a risk. It's just too big of a risk. And I think more and more men will just are turned off.
Bad men. And, you know, speaking of the bad men, I am sure that they are loving these developments and probably feel emboldened by them, because if there are no good men who can step in and stop other people being victimized because they are being handcuffed both figuratively and literally, what do you think happens in that context? It leaves the bad men to become worse, Simon. That's what. Not to wheel out the women most affected meme, but, you know, women most affected. I don't know, guys. These topics really make me sad because these issues are absolutely way more nuanced than just this black and white thinking that typically comes out when people are discussing them. But I think, you know, one of the bottom lines here is that creeps and psychopaths are the ones who end up benefiting the most because of all of this weird socio-political flexing that goes on with relation to this topic. As a woman and as a member of the fairer sex, can I completely understand why women are very sad with men not approaching them and talking to them and asking them out in appropriate settings? Yes, absolutely. That was my, like, entire dating life. Men didn't talk to me, but that's also probably because I'm really tall and I have a resting bitch face. Maybe. Do I also understand why men don't really want to approach women these days? Yeah, I do, actually. I get it. Do I understand why women don't want to be catcalled on their runs or when they're walking home from school as a teenage girl? Yes, absolutely I do. But do I also think that people should be arrested for catcalling? Probably not, if it's innocuous. But again, you have people who take it too far, who make it creepy, who make it beyond creepy, who make it dangerous and threatening, and
like, obviously if they're following you back home, that's fucked. But
of what overall point I wanted to make here and leave you all with, I'm not even sure that I have one. I saw the sorry police thing and I really wanted to weigh in on it. And then I guess a secondary thought that I have that I don't want to get into is I would love to be a fly on the wall when these coppers realize the primary demographics that are doing the catcalling and who is the most risk to women, and then how quickly they will shut the initiative down when they do that, when they realize that. So I guess if I have a final thing to say here, it is this. I feel very sad about the fact that interactions between men and women have been so eroded, and I feel sad about all of the normal people from both sexes who are being caught up in all of the stupidity. Dating is not easy for either sex for a multitude of reasons, and the more that we add social pressure to situations, I think the worse things turn out. I don't really want to see a bunch of gender bashing in the comments because I don't think that unilaterally one sex is to blame over the other, but I do think that we can direct a lot of our ire at the freaks and the weirdos who make it hard for everybody else. So in the end,
I think we already kind of are.
How we fix this, but I am positive that having an open, honest dialogue about these things is definitely a step in the right direction. Now, on that note, and before I open the floor to all of you, this is just a reminder: check out American Financing using the link in the description. If this is something that you are struggling with, finances are hard, trust me, I know. Definitely check them out, give them a call, see if they might be able to help you. Now, I open the floor to all of you. What do you all think? I'm a little scared of your comments, guys, for this video. Do you think that the Sorry Police initiative is a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it completely
I think it's
insane? It's overkill. It should not be happening. Do you think that actually there's some tangible benefit to doing this, to stopping people from catcalling?
Exactly. I think that's exactly what it is. I think they're not going to actually put police officers undercover. They just probably filmed it as a deterrent.
Do you think that catcalling is a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it innocuous? Is it threatening? Are you a woman who was catcalled as a young teenager and kind of creeped out from that? What do you guys make of the perspective that a lot of women have that they're not being approached when they're out? Do you think that this is because men are too fearful to approach them because they don't want to be misperceived? Do you think that it's because women have created a rod for their backs? Do you feel bad for the women in these cases because they're probably not even the ones who started all of this? They're too young to have been a part of the earlier movements that led men to this point. And what you generally make of this issue overall? As always, if you have made it this far in the video, congratulations. I always like having you along for the full ride. If you are new here and you're not subscribed already and you would like to see more of me and more of this kind of content, feel free to subscribe to the channel as well as
I don't subscribe to anybody.
because I do read the majority of them.
I'm a rebel.
I like hearing your feedback. Of course, my little chickadee noodles, I hope you stay safe and well and make good choices in the interim. And I will see your wonderful little faces in the next video.
Great video. But yeah, I think ultimately the main I think what's going to happen, this will probably happen in the next maybe 10, 15 years or so, is women will get more courage. Honestly, I think women don't give themselves enough credit, and everyone speaks as if, women are powerless all the time. They're so weak and stuff. It's like, dude, yes, the average man is most likely stronger than the average woman. Yes, obviously, but if you've been, out on the street these days, any day, really, you'll probably notice that most people are kind of the same. I mean, not the same as in not literally the same, but most, if you would take a thin guy versus a thin girl, yeah, the guy would probably win in a fight, but as long as the woman fights back, I don't think the guy would be willing to even try anything once the woman starts fighting back. I think that is one of the bigger reasons why women have this looming threat over their shoulder all the time. It's because they think themselves weaker than they actually are. Straight up. It's I remember I was watching a streamer years ago, and they were telling their audience, they were telling the story about how they went on a Uber ride, right? And the Uber was taking them kind of in taking them on some sort of road that the streamer knew wasn't going in the right direction, if that makes sense. They weren't going, basically they took the wrong road, right? And then apparently the Uber guy, the driver, kept asking her for her number, and instead of just being no, period, right? Just hard no, right? Instead of saying that, she kept kind of bobbing and weaving, right? She kept kind of I have this and nah, that kind of thing. And while she was telling the story, I was so she never said no, right? And she mentioned how she was afraid or something, and was afraid of saying not giving the phone number, and was fearful that she was being kidnapped or something because they were going on the wrong road. And eventually it was fine, right? But it's once I heard that story, I was how, or you could just hard no. And this is what I think a lot of women have a problem with. And this is not just a woman thing. This is a man thing as well. People need to learn to say no. People need to learn to be, dare I say it, confident. Like, I'm not kidding, right? Ultimately, I think what's going to happen is that as more and more men stop interacting and asking women out and approaching women, and more women start approaching men, more and more women will gain the courage to deal with a stranger, essentially, right? Now, obviously, for men, it's kind of the same. Like, yes, we are stronger than women, generally. Not always, but generally, right? But that doesn't mean that we're not afraid when we approach a random stranger, like another guy, even a girl, honestly. Like, you never know what's going to happen. If a random girl approached me on the street, like a random woman approached me on the street, I would 100% be like, my caution would go immediately to 100%. Because why would they be approaching me, right? But yeah, that's my opinion. Ultimately, I feel like women need to grow some balls. Yep, that's my opinion. Unfortunately, we have run out of time today. I must stop here. It is extremely hot in my room, and I cannot continue. I have to end. If you've gotten this far in the VOD, in the video, I hope you enjoyed the ride. Until next time, I guess. I shall see you later.